you can usually look at the things in life as positives. Even if something kind of negative comes at you, that could be a huge learning process.
Words Matter with John Maurice. Hey everybody, how you doing? My name is John Maurice, and welcome to another episode of Words Matter with John Maurice. This episode is actually going to be a really, really good one today. It's almost like the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Last week, or the last episode that you saw, we didn't do them in order, but we had Mr. Mike Conway, the film producer and movie director and music scores and all of these things that he's done, script writing. He's done amazing things. We're actually doing a call today. He's calling in, and we're also going to have, let me introduce you first. Mr. Mike. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right.
How you doing, Chuck?
I am doing amazing. Thank you for coming and doing the show again. You're in Arizona now. You're not in Vegas right now. You're with your mother, correct?
I'm on a trip, yes.
Okay. And all is well?
All is well.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're getting ready to get into it. Buckle up, everybody. But also, what I want to do for the first time, I want to introduce you to the man who drives this whole thing and takes us on the journey every single week. He's behind the scenes. He is my partner and my co-host, Mr. Matt. Here you go, Matt. Are you there?
Hey, it's Matthew Collins here.
There you go, Matt. All right. The last guest that you saw on Words Matter with John Maurice was actually the very first guest on Words Matter with John Maurice, and we have him called in right now, Mr. Mike Conway. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time out to call back in, and I'm just... we were talking beforehand. I'm just having so much fun with you, man. We got to let everybody know, what are you doing now? Any new projects or anything going on? Because I know they're up to date with what you've done before last year.
Yeah, I'm still touching up Drone Down and Evil Dwells Within. We got possibly a couple bites on Drone Down because we're seeking distribution. Mm-hmm. So we are going to be talking about that a little more this week with the potential distributors.
Oh, wow.
So fingers crossed.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be putting out good energy.
Fingers crossed that they open their wallets and are forthcoming,
Well, it's going to happen. You definitely get distribution. It's a great project, and it's time, so you've been working on it. So the world is ready to see it, and we're going to have another Mike Conway movie out there in no time. Definitely.
Watch out.
Yeah. When you do that, you have to come back on, and we want to see these things too. Where can they find the links to these movies?
Well, I have a YouTube channel. It's Scoopic Man with an S, SCOOPICMAN, one word, Scoopic Man. Mm-hmm. Not stupid, man. Scoopic.
Scoop. We're going to put it up.
You can find some of my short films there.
Okay, definitely. I'm going to go into that tonight. We were talking about that too. I was watching the podcast.
There's a lot of keyboard like videos because I'm talking about music technology. So there's a lot of that, but the short films are mixed in there.
Okay.
I can tell you which ones to search, the good ones.
The good. Okay, yeah, let us know, and we'll actually put it up in this video and, let people know about the titles that you have out there and where they can find them, and, go and see a Mike Conway movie. And of course, you can find all the trailers on there too. Okay, perfect. Oh, man. Matt, do you want to chime in? I know that we have you here, and I don't want to leave Matt out and just, in this recap of the video. Any idea or any memories that you have from filming this one?
Oh, from Drone Down? Oh, yeah. We had a ton of fun shooting Drone Down. I mean, and Michael Barehand Baran, he was one of the podcast guests. We got great stories with him. I mean, I think you even touched on a couple of them, right, Mike?
Yeah, in fact, I talked to Michael Baran today because he has a lead. So, yeah, we talked just a couple hours ago, and I'm like, hey, I'm in Arizona, man. I'm away on a trip. But, yeah, I'm talking to everybody right now.
Okay. You said,
isn't that how it happens? You go on a trip, and that's when you get the phone calls. Like, I just talked to Jeremy Settles via text, like, right before calling you. Like, everybody's texting and calling me right now.
Okay. Yeah, work, it never ends. But you're working
I put
out there?
my mom. No, I'm visiting my mom. I just put her in the closet so she doesn't bother us.
Oh, man. Oh, that's hilarious.
Hang on. Where is she? Hey, Mom, say hi. Hi. Okay, all right, go back, Mom. Stay there. All right, that was Mom.
Tell your mom I said hi.
His mom's
all right, son.
Oh, that's hilarious. Just the hi. That's it.
That's all you get.
That's all. Okay.
That's all you get.
So besides the trying to sell it, so you're in the final stages of editing, drone down, or is it completely done?
I'm doing a lot of a lot of color correction, which is I'm mostly finished, but I'm still touching up, and I'm touching up some musical bits on it.
Ah, okay.
So it's the film's been viewable for a couple of years, but I keep making little changes because that's what we do.
Right. So usually, do you always do that, or once it's done, and you don't, or do you go back?
If I hand it over to somebody, then I'm pretty much done with it. But because I still have it, I just continue to touch it up.
Okay. You guys wrapped that up, 2021?
I'm not sure. Mike would know this.
Yeah, that's when we shot. We shot August 2021, and then, the editing was going on after that. Editing actually takes a while, so.
Okay.
Yeah, it is very.
So yeah, I was editing into 2022, and like I said, now I'm doing the color correction and additional music.
Okay, nice. I can't wait to see what changes look like, after that.
Yeah, it keeps getting better.
Oh, it does.
I keep cutting out I cut out the dead weight, and I, keep tightening it up and make it. I punctuate it more, with the audio and the cuts. And
that's something I have to admit about like Mike's film Drone Down is that there is no lulls. I mean, that's something that's amazing. That's what really is a testament to him as a filmmaker. I mean, like, there's so many films I've seen where there's so many lulls, and you're like, just get to the point already. Yeah. But no, Mike doesn't have those lulls. It gets to the action right away. It's really, really good.
Okay. And like I said, I have to get my dose.
Even more so now.
Okay.
And that happens. Sometimes I go back on stuff, and I'm always tightening things up,
So in general, when you're doing a project, how long do you normally allocate to do the editing to be done? I know this is taking a little extra time.
From the day of shooting until it's done is usually about a year for me. Okay. Because, it's editing, it's sound, it's music, and now some color correction. So it's quite a bit, and I do it around my day job. So
right, okay.
It's just it's when I get to it. Now I had a lot of drama, family drama, like my stepdad dying and my uncle dying, and
I'm sorry to hear that.
My mom. She's in memory care, so I'm at her memory care facility. So there was a lot of, where Mom lived with me for 6 months, and then we've been trying to get her into the right place, and just a lot of stuff that happens in life. So the movies kind of took a back seat for a while, and that's why I've taken quite a bit of time on this.
Okay. Yeah, definitely understandable, and you have to prioritize and get these things first. That's going to come, but yeah, no, I definitely get it. I was
so it happens with everybody. Life is going to get in the way, and that's what life does. Life is going to do its thing, and you have to just adjust to it and fit in where you can.
Of course.
Yeah, family's first. You always got to take care of your family first,
100%.
And then the other stuff will come in.
So how much more time now that that's almost done, would you give yourself before going into another project?
Oh,
that's a loaded question.
I would probably say we're trying to get everything, because Evil Dwells Within is the other feature project, and I'm trying to get that, have both of these completely out of the way by the time AFM rolls around, which is in November.
Right.
So I'm hoping that by November, both films are completely done, and then I can think about looking at something else.
Okay, definitely. What also, once we talked from the last one, I haven't forgotten, but now that we're here and now that, that a conference is coming up right around the corner, we need to sit down and have lunch. We need to sit down and
absolutely.
talk about possibly, because everything happens in time. Timing is about seasons, and the right season is starting to come up, and I definitely want to throw my hat in the ring for a feature film. So I would love to sit down and talk about the possibilities of partnering up and working on.
I was talking about you. I said, this John, he's so sincerely interested in the filmmaking process. And I know because Matt told me you were doing a horror film originally before you went into a series.
Right.
But I knew that you wanted to do horror and filmmaking and get something done. So when you interviewed me and talking to you, I mean, I felt like we really hit it off. And I was like, oh, man, this guy's great. So, yeah, be happy to have that lunch with you.
Okay, definitely, 100%. I have a few things in my mind. Then when we talked about it, I forgot that we actually talked about one movie film and using what we had, because my daughter owns a trucking company with a boyfriend. And we talked about that movie.
Does she have more than 4 trucks now?
Yes.
I knew she did.
Yeah.
She had 4 and he had 40.
Yeah. They went through a little rough patch for a little bit, but they're actually back on track. Actually, my birthday is coming up Wednesday. So this weekend is my birthday weekend. This Wednesday is my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. And actually, she wanted to spend time with Dad. She's been working hard, so she actually is flying me out. I was like, what? She was like, Dad, I bought you a ticket. I want you to come. And,
What state does she live in?
She's in Florida. So,
oh, okay. So you're going across the country?
Yeah. Just for a few days. I'm going into her house and, see her house and bless it. And, yeah.
Excellent.
Just
well, my mom's birthday was Tuesday, so that's why I'm here. I came down for the weekend, but yeah, she just had her birthday, so you're very close to my mom's birthday.
Yeah, we're both Leos. Tell her I said hello.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Happy birthday. Tell her, because she said hi. Then I will. Know I said happy birthday to her. Happy belated birthday.
All right.
Yeah, man. Is the whole family with you? Is your wife with you?
My sister. No. My family is in Las Vegas, but my sister lives here. I'm in Cottonwood, Arizona, which is near Sedona. It's about 2 hours north of Phoenix.
Oh, okay. All right. That's what I was going to ask. Actually, I've only been to the Grand Canyon. I've never been to Phoenix or any of those cities, so I want to come there and check it out. So I was going to ask, how far is it from Phoenix? But 2 hours. Okay. Is it similar to like a Phoenix, or what is the area?
No, Cottonwood is higher desert. When you hit the cities near here, which are Prescott and Flagstaff, those have pine trees, and this is not quite that high, but it's a higher elevation, so it's cooler. It's a little bit cooler.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice. How long did it take you? Did you drive or fly?
I drove. It took about 5.5 hours to get here.
Oh, no, that's not bad. Okay. Very cool. All right. Well, I was just also thinking when we were talking on the about the podcast and stuff like that, it was hilarious when you talked about the kiss in your movie.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it made my girlfriend so mad. Yes.
Yeah, I thought.
Yep, and we had to do it again.
Yeah, because that was funny. I thought that was your wife. That was just your girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, yes, we're obviously not together anymore. So
right. Yeah, I was about to say that
she was pretty mad.
Hilarious.
Now my wife, and that's the reason she's my wife. She saw that and she's like, "That's awesome."
Yeah, okay.
What the hell, right? We're getting married.
I think you said that. We're getting married. Didn't you say that in the podcast?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Not the married part, but I said my wife loved it.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. That's hilarious. I wanted to know that did she watch the podcast and you have to relive it over again? But no.
I linked her to it, so she's gonna watch it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I said, look, I mentioned you several times, so you have to watch it.
Okay. Now, I do have a question for you. With going to the, what is it called again, this convention in November? The
American Film Market, AFM.
American Film Market is this November. When you go to these things for distribution, what is your approach? How do you do this? Because when I go, I'm going for the first time. I'm going to be trying to sell Beyond the Lights. So how do you...
Oh, nice.
What do you do? What's your approach there?
Well, I probably won't be there, but Jeremy Settles, who is the majority owner of Drone Down, because he helped raise the money for it, he'll be there. So he'll probably have that and several other films. I'm guessing about 4 or 5 movies, and
oh wow!
So I only hear about it secondhand. The distributors come in and you show them trailers, and sometimes they make deals on the spot, and they're like, "Can you show me that the whole movie's there?" And they'll watch it fast forwarded just to make sure the whole movie is there, because they don't have the time to watch every movie. But if they're interested in it, they'll say, "All right, show me so I can tell it's all there." All right, and they might make a deal. For instance, Japanese buyer, he bought a couple films that my rep was representing that I did, and he watched them in fast forward and then bought the movie rights.
Really? Oh, that's kind of cool.
And Mike, isn't that where you also, like, you were showing us the DVDs, like when we last time you did the show, then you also like show like they like changed the titles of the films a little bit to adjust to their market?
Oh yeah, each territory they can decide to change the title because they don't want it to sound like it has been anywhere before. They're like, no, this is an original. This is first time anybody's seeing this. And then you'll have some people say, wait a minute, this was War of the Planets in the U.S. Why is it called Exodus now? What is this?
Is that so that way they can like cater to, because I mean they have completely different cultures over there, so I'm figuring it must be like,
Oh yeah, they might title it something similar to something popular over there.
Because wasn't one of your films? Didn't they do something like with Terminator or something like that?
Right, Exile. In Japan, they called it Prototype Terminator.
Prototype.
And and Terrarium, my movie, which became War of the Planets because of the Tom Cruise movie, War of the Worlds. In UK and Hong Kong, they called it Exodus because Ridley Scott was making a movie called Exodus. And of course, at the time, they only heard he was making that movie. They didn't know it was going to be a historical picture. They're like, yeah, that sounds like a sci-fi movie. Let's call this one Exodus. So they'll do things like that.
Wow. So that's like, it just different ways.
The Black, my movie, The Black Triangle, they're like, they're like, crystals are big. We're going to call it The Black Crystal because, Jim Henson had the Dark Crystal movie. So they're like, they always want to sound like something else.
I never knew that. I didn't know it was originally supposed to be called the Black Triangle. I don't remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It was the shape of dark love, which was the original logo I had on there, and it was the love triangle between the witch, the warlock, and the innocent guy, Will. So it was the Black Triangle.
Wow. See, I did not know that. Did you go into that on the podcast? It's supposed to be called Black Triangle?
No, that's all new. That's new for you guys. Do what you want with it.
Look at that. Look at that, John. Look at that. We're getting new content, man.
Exclusive. You know what's funny? It's two things. You was just the animation was I'm in the back. I'm just listening now. But another thing, when Mike, when you first said the black, and you was thinking of Crystal when you first said it.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
You said the black, but it was just a pause. But what I'm saying is, I'm getting to this. I'm listening to it, to you. And then I happen to look in the mirror and I'm seeing the monitors, and it was on Matt, and he was listening, and you said it was the black. And right when you said the black, the monitor switched from Matt back to me. And so I was like, at the same time you said the black,
had nothing.
I appeared on the
I had nothing to do with that.
Oh yeah, no, it's just
I'm messing.
It was making a quick transition real quick.
Yeah,
Sometimes it does that.
But I just thought it was hilarious. As I was looking,
that's funny.
We can take that out.
No, that was not me.
It's other
I'm so used. I'm so used to in Jim Henson's The Dark Crystal, those creatures would make noises like that. They go.
Oh, that's probably where I got it from. I probably got it from like Yoda. Yes, indeed.
We need to do an animated show now and have Matt as one of the voices, because he can do everybody.
That's the only place I have a face for animation and radio. That's it.
Nah, don't put yourself down.
He is definitely a character, so I'm all for that.
Oh yeah, I know. But being with Matt, for all these years now, we have a lot of fun together. That's why we just vibe.
I try to keep it fun.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, when the movies have different titles like that, I have to take a pause and go, wait a minute. Well, yeah, it was the Black Triangle, but I'm so used to the Black Crystal that to call it the original title, I had to think about it for a second.
Okay. But when you have gone to these type of events before where you talk to the distributors and make a deal and stuff like that, correct?
I have been represented. Remember we talked about the producer's rep before? So she would give me a thorough review of everything that happened. And she's like, yeah, Tony Todd came and watched one of your movies. And they would have the movies titles displayed at elevators and different places. You pay for the advertising, but I basically got the rundown from her and other people that I know that have gone to these.
So how do you find her or a person like that who represents your film or project to get distribution? Because I'm looking for that. I'm like, do I have to do this, or because I don't know where to find a sales agent right now?
It's I was telling you, I found her at a forum called indieclub.com, which is currently not running. But we met through a forum. She was a sales agent. I approached her about Terrarium. She said, yeah, it looks like a good story. And she took that along with a bunch of other titles and to AFM, because they don't just take one movie, because the cost to get a room there, I don't know, what is it, Matt, like $20,000?
Oh, I don't have the foggiest notion. I know the tickets now are
$8,000 for a table.
Yeah, $8,000 for a table, and now to go all 5 days, it's $700, I think, something like that.
Okay.
So you could go, I think you could pay that fee and not have a table or booth, but that's like to be there. But if you get a table or you get a room, then you're going to pay for that, and you're going to have more than one property. It's not worth it to just go for one movie.
Okay. Now, so everybody who's there who has a table, they are creators, producers. They have films that they're trying to sell, and the distributors are walking around, or do the distributors have tables and booths as well?
Well, the sellers will also have an exhibit table or room because they'll have a place to put up all their artwork, a place to play the trailers. Yeah.
Oh, well,
yeah, the sellers will.
I guess I could see that too.
I'm not saying the distributors won't, but typically the sellers go to AFM to peddle their wear.
So the guy who is going on your behalf for these movies has a booth or a table or something, or no?
You know how I said I texted him, or he texted me right before this phone call? Uh-huh. He just told me he was going, but I don't know if he has a table or room, but I know he is going.
We should all get together and have a table, and so everybody can afford it, and everybody can still present their stuff and pump their stuff out. That's a possibility. Come sometimes we're stronger together than we are individually, all trying to push our things separately when something like this is so
and I think there are parties that do that. They team up, and both sides can show their goods.
So is there a forum for that where you can go and link up with other filmmakers and producers to do something like that?
There are all sorts of film groups, and there are groups for distribution. Like on Facebook, you could join a myriad of groups, and you could hook up with people, and you can throw that out. Anybody go into AFM and see if you get some bites, see who else is going with what projects, and
we need to
that's up to you to hook up with them.
Right. I need to find the keywords to look up some of things. I look up stuff. I'm not a great researcher, so it's like I don't really get the results that I look for. So I actually try to hire people to find those certain keywords to find certain things. Mm-hmm. So yeah, even on those groups, if you know a few of those, send me a few links or something like that.
And there are people who would say, "Oh, don't get a producer's rep because they take a certain percentage of the money." My producer's rep, at first she took 15%, and then I think it went up to 20%. But I thought it was worth it because she had the contacts, and so she could make the deals, and she was also a lawyer, so she could rewrite the contract so you wouldn't get screwed over. And
80% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So is she still your rep?
Exactly. She probably would. She had a very key guy, a technical guy who he had, I don't know if he had an aneurysm. He had something that I don't even know if he's living anymore, but he was a key part of her operation because he handled all the technical stuff with putting the trailers together and the movie deliverables. And she was more the lawyer side, right. She would make the deals, she would rewrite contracts, but he was like the technical guy. So I don't think she's gone in a while, but she would probably represent me again if I asked her.
Okay. Well, maybe I can pay you to see if she could recommend someone to represent me, or maybe she might represent me.
You don't have to pay me for that.
Well, I don't want to just, everybody always wants something for nothing, and it's not me. So I want to just, I know that sometimes you have to pay to get things done the right way than to go the cheap route, and you never get the results you're looking for. So I'm like,
sure.
I'm at the stage now in my life where I'm like, I need results, and I need people who can get them. So I'm willing to pay for it to get it done, because no more wasted seasons. I don't want to waste another year or 2 years trying to figure it out myself, when if I know someone who can do it, I can pay them, and it will collapse my time, and I can start making more things happen, get that off the table.
That makes
and start doing more things.
Total sense.
Yeah, man. I have With my birthday coming up in just a few days, I'm like, I don't want to.
You're feeling your mortality. I know. I got it.
I got some things that I really need to accomplish, and just get it done. It don't matter. You want success and you want it to be big, but the magnanimity of it is not that's the side effect that people love it afterwards. You just want to get the things that you have inside you out and create it before time.
Well, John, I wanted to make you feel a little bit better, and I just want to say that turning 30 is not the end of the world.
Oh, yeah. So. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. I was going to say I wish, but no, I actually don't.
I'm turning 21 this year. I'm totally not ready to turn 21 yet.
You're not ready?
I'm not ready to turn 21.
Oh, well, I better bring the beer back to the store then.
Yeah, right.
Shoot. Oh, 18 I meant.
Man, I'm happy where I'm at. I'm good now. I think for the first time, I am comfortable being who I am. Is not trying to be, I'm this, I'm an actor, I'm a singer. No, I am that I am, and I don't care what you think. If you
I can tell in your attitude, the way you talk, you are a guy I feel at ease around because I think you are comfortable in your own skin, and I feel that.
Yeah, there's no more representative. Hi, that's old. That's over.
You're real. You turned real. It's like, enough with the facades.
Yeah.
Enough with making up, or pretending to be bigger than I am. This is what you get.
Yeah.
This is who I am.
It's just like your YouTube channel. I am John Maurice.
That's it. There is nothing else I can do. And the interesting thing is, I love doing this podcast. I love this, and I see a transition of doing even other things similar. And I'm about just being the best individual and creating the best content that I can in whatever format. But I'm just ready to move forward. I actually lost my point right there.
Sure.
I was about to go deep.
Hey, since you lost that point, can I ask you? Now you wanted to have a platform of movies, like independent movies. Are you going to have something like that in the future?
Of course. You talking about the network?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah. I only put that on pause so that I can figure it out. I was hemorrhaging cash. I had, for 3 years, I had the streaming network up, and I got not one person, actually, no, it was one, that would want to give me their content. So I had to go out and buy a lot of, content, and, the cheaper stuff is the classic content, or you would get public domain things. And so I wanted to be an independent channel, the home for the independent. If you're not with, the big Lionsgate or whoever, or even Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, there's a place for the independents. I wanted to actually have independent movies and be able to give you more money in your pocket. If you were to upload your movie onto Amazon Prime is taking 50%. If you're renting your movie for $9.99 or whatever, 50%, half. And they're not.
They're taking way more than that.
They're taking more than that now?
They used to pay okay, but then now it's like pennies per the 1,000 views. It's I don't know what the rate is, but it's nothing like it used to be.
Okay. Well, being the new guy, and what I was willing to do was give 65% of everything that the revenue that came in would go to the artist to put more money in your pocket. And then we would charge a subscription fee. So there was multiple ways to get paid. So if we had the subscription to be, say, $3, and so if you had a lot of followers to want and come and watch your movie, you promote it. They come over, you get a code, they punch in the code, and they become members, subscribed. You would get, if there was if it was $3, you get $2 of the $3 because they came there to see you. And the hope is they would go and watch something else after they watch your content. After that,
Yes.
we had not only on demand, but we had live television, where it was just like television with commercials and everything else. And then we had the live stream. So if you did a live event, or say like we recorded this live, you could do it's a pay-per-view, just like how Netflix was going to do they did Selective Outrage with Chris Rock, the stand-up comedy show, or the Mike Tyson fight with I forget what that guy name is. It was canceled, but that was going to be on Netflix.
Oh, was it like Logan Paul?
Paul Logan, right. So I had the same exact platform as Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max. The same company that built their back ends built mine and had the platform. So I could do pay-per-view live. If you did that, people would not only pay for the subscription, so you get the lion's share of that on the code that's coming. You do the live event, they pay for that live event, right? So that would be yours. You would get 65 to 70% of that. All of that would be your money. And then it can go on demand and people can watch it. You might charge 99 cents or whatever. But also, then you would get 70% of that, and then you can also put it in the live stream of live television and pick the slot that you want. And the advertisers and the commercials that come on, you get 70% of that. So this was a win-win-win, and there was multiple ways for people to get paid. But my circle was not big enough to support that. The people that I knew at that time was, starving artists, so they didn't have that, or they wanted to not be on a network that was just starting, not known. They wanted to be on Netflix and all this other stuff. And so after doing that... I
can speak on behalf of all indie filmmakers that we would love to see a John Maurice tied in network. We would love it.
Well, I only put it on pause because I was putting out money every month and nothing was coming in.
Right.
So at any moment, I can just plug it back in. This platform is still there. The app is actually still up on all of the sites, on Apple TV, Roku TV, the Amazon Fire Stick, Google Play Store, Apple Play Store. And we were expanding. We're still there. It's just a matter of once I can start, getting some sales agents that would go out and get advertisers or sponsorships, then we can then buy newer and fresh content, or we would buy your content. There was a friend, what was his name? Lance Montanto, right? Was that his name?
Was he a guest on Beyond the Lights?
Beyond the Lights, comedian.
I think it was Lance Mentalto, something like that. Yeah.
Great guy, and he happened to know a friend who was a comedian, who was a cruise liner comedian, and he made a movie right here in Henderson, called Running for Jenny, and so he actually lives in, I think, New York now, but he actually came here. And he has a house here as well. And we actually met. And actually, I interviewed him. And he actually gave me his film to air on my network. And I ran it for 1 year. And I did exclusive watch parties and everything. It was great. So, but he was the only person that I ran into who wanted to promote their movie on my network. So if I could have been in different circles, meeting other, filmmakers, the goal is also not only to promote the indie filmmakers, but I want to go to college campuses and do my own Taijin Network Film Festival, for the colleges.
Oh, sweet.
And so every college, you'd have the pep rallies, and they're, supporting their team. So those pep rallies, they have more views, and each college would, kind of support each other and rally behind. And the voting would be on like TikTok or Instagram. And so what you would do is you would watch it. We'd have a month long, and you'd have the brackets. 1 week, you'll have all of these films, and these films would be just 5 or 10, well, maybe 5 films, 5 to 7 films would rotate throughout the whole day, 24 hours for the whole week. So it gives people enough time to watch each movie, and then they vote for the best movie of that week. And so it would go down to week 4, and each week for the next 4 weeks. And then that 5th week, you'd vote out of the winners of each week which one is the best film that they want to see. And they would win a $10,000 check, and they would not only get that, but they would have their movie playing on the network for a year. And we'd give them the advertisements and all of that stuff. All of that same money would come to them for a year, and we'd promote them. And then the next movie that they did, they wouldn't have to submit it. It would just automatically come and be on a platform. And then we'd build relationships with new and up and coming filmmakers. We'd have our own annual film festival. So these are things that I want to do, as well as take the Taijin Network and turn it into the Taijin University. There, we would take, individuals who want to make films who didn't go to school or can't make it to work on a project in Hollywood. So you would come to the actual film university, the Taijin University, and we would all work on the best script and get one script. And then each class, you'd have a class on lighting, a class on the camera work, the sound, everything. And we're doing it based off of the storyboarding of the movie, the script that everybody writes. And then we make that actual movie. So it becomes a Taijin movie. All of these people coming in would then not only be certified as a camera guy or whatever through the university, but they would get credit for it in the actual movie and given paid a stipend. And then once we, release it and broadcast it and get advertisers, and we'll still continue to, give residual checks to those people. So we're looking to create a new economy for people and giving them hope of the promise of a better tomorrow to live their dream. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to figure out how to partner with the right people and bring in money so that we can do these things to help people's dreams, get to the next level. That's what it's all about. It's not about me, but it's about we tying the generations together to live out our purpose. That was the goal and the vision, but I just need to get in the right rooms and get around people who are smarter than me and know more. And you know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm around Matt, and I'm talking to people like you, trying to obtain more information and knowledge. So it's not over yet. I just paused it because it didn't make sense. Sometimes you have to stop it and then reevaluate everything, and then you can apply what you've learned and then continue to move forward instead of just thinking busyness is progress. I was just hemorrhaging cash and it was going nowhere. So everything just came together.
I wish someone like you would succeed with that, because your heart and head are in the right place. Whereas, and you're probably well aware that in the actual world of distribution, it's not a fair shake out there. And we need someone like you, because you will give the fair shake. And 100%. I would really like to see you succeed. Yeah.
Well, just the only way that we can make this happen is we all do it together and we partner together. You talk about it and say, hey, have you heard about John? Because people don't know me at all. They don't know about me. And I'm a lot of times I'm trying to sit and think.
I could see it catching fire, John, because people talk about like Film Hub and getting something on Tubi, but what are the actual like payouts and what you're talking about? The 65% or whatever it is, but you're talking about real substantial payouts, and the word of that, like once you got that ball rolling, when people heard about that, and I think you'd have to fight them off because you'd be getting so many because it's so hard to find the fair shake.
Right. And so just imagine 3 years of doing that, and I'm paying it out of my pocket. And, you start to think, what am I missing here? And I've had other people who, wanted to invest and, friends. And I'm just like, it's got to be right. I'm not a person, we all need money to live and do our things, but I'm not a person driven by money. Yes. Do I want money? Yes. Do I want a lot of money? Yes. But at what point is enough? And we have to think, how can I'm here to serve people. So either I'm going to serve you or I'm going to use you. There's not really too much of an in-between. I don't know. People can discuss it, talk about it, debate about it. But with me helping you, if I'm lifting you up to get to the light, it doesn't take anything away from me. But the light is still there on me. You know what I'm saying? But we need to focus on how do we help you. If I can help you to obtain your goals and your dreams and your vision, everything that you want and all the money that you want is in somebody else's pocket right now. But if you can figure out how to make the things possible for them and their needs, then they'll be more than willing to give you the money in their pocket. When we do it every day, life is transactional. You want a new shirt. You go to the store, you give your money, you get the shirt. It's a win-win. They happy they have the money. You're happy that you got a new shirt. You want something to eat. You go with some money to the store and you give them the money and you get the food. You're full. That was good. You're sucking your fingers and everything. You're happy. A car, house, all of that works the same way. So if I can help you, you will pay me. And then in return, we both get paid because the thing that you want is to have your movies on a network that is streamed around the world, number one. Number two, you want to get paid for your work and your art, And with doing that and having it spread out there and people know about you and they're coming to pay because they're paying for Netflix and Hulu and Peacock and Amazon Prime and all of these other things. They're watching Tubi, and that's I was a free network. So I take my hat off to Tubi and Pluto. Love them both. And the structure they have and Freezy. I want to figure out.
And Tubi right now has beat Disney Plus and Hulu in viewership now.
Right. Because it supplies everything they need. It's not just one, but you have regular TV, you have shows, but you have commercials. So you can see all of this stuff for free. So I love how they do that. That's what I was trying to do. I would love to partner with the business people.
They have the commercials, but not the censorship. And you can watch pretty much the uncut movies that they just have the commercials in.
Right. Well, that was how the Taija Network was. I remember. Oh God! I remember when I first started, and I had I think it was I forget what movie it was, The Killer of the Bumblebee Womans or something like that. And comedian and friend, Jeffrey Peterson, I have to have him on. He was watching it, and then he texted me one day. He was like, dude, there's nudity on it. I was like, really? It's in the movie. I'm not cutting it, so you got the full movie. And actually, I didn't have commercials inserted in the actual movie. So you would watch the entire movie, and then the commercials were before and after. And so if it's got nudity in it, and it'd be, it could be 11 o'clock in the morning. It was like being in Oxford, England, because they got nudity on TV. That shocked me. I was like,
oh yeah, other countries, they got a lot even Canada with their swearing and stuff. I mean, like, although I think they get up to a certain number, you can only do a certain number of F-bombs. It really is. And
really?
On Trailer Park Boys show, that's the reason why they were able to coin a new phrase, the word F-R-I-G, frig. So they were saying frig for a lot of stuff because they hit their quota. Like they said, like, oh, we hit our quota like within like the first 5 minutes of the episode.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
So I heard that Tubi, that a lot of people were like, we'd like to just have a subscription so we didn't have to watch the ads. But I think Tubi is like, no, we're just keeping the ads. Isn't that what you heard, Matt?
Oh yeah. They're not. They said they're never, ever going to go away from being an ad-based, an AVOD platform. That's essentially what they call it.
Well, you have all of the others.
Yeah, but a thought, John, is that what if you ran a platform and it ran the free movies, but you have to watch the ads? But what if you did offer the subscription as well, so that they didn't have to watch ads?
I would do that as well. And the only reason why I did not, and actually I look at myself and I used to be so fearless. And then something happened. It was just a season of being frugal or being broke. That's what you call it. Because in order to go to the subscriptions, you have to read, boys and girls, you got to read the fine print in the contract. Because I was negotiating the deal, and they don't tell you too much about transcoding also. That's a good word that you need to learn, boys and girls, because it costs money. So when you upload a movie or your content onto a network, it's not just uploading it. It has to be transcoded so that it can go into any format, whether it's going on Apple, it's going to Mac, computers. All the different platforms have different formats. So each platform that you're on, it has to be transcoded for that. So that takes from your memory, that takes from your the storage and all of that stuff, because it's times however many platforms. And cha-ching, it just keeps going, cha-ching. And you're like, I can upload. When I was on the first network, which was TV Startup, and that was a cool platform. I uploaded every movie that I had. I had over 2,000 movies on that one. When I switched over to Lightcast gives you all of the numbers, the statistics, how many people are watching, from what city, what area, what do you call that? The data.
Oh, analytics?
The analytics. They give you all the analytics, the backdoor, and they have so many more things that you can do. And it was the same price. So I was like, for real? Okay, cool. Let me switch over. So I went from one platform to a new platform, keeping my same platform and pushing it out. That's why sometimes if you go on to Apple or Google or whatever, or Roku TV or anywhere, you'll see two different thumbnails. You'll see a white one, that's the original Tijan logo. Then you'll see a blue one, which was the second one, was because they were two different platforms, which I'm still cool with both of them and can go back to both of them at any time. But the second one, the blue one, had all the analytics, it had everything. But that's when I learned about transcoding and how for everything there is a price. And when you uploaded, transcoded, memory, storage, and it was like, okay. So it was a nice crash course lesson in not only business, but running a TV network. So I know how to do it. I'm ready to go. I just need more people in place to be able to help with getting advertisers, sponsorship, salespeople, and then crews and all that stuff. It is happening. It's going to happen. It's just now in the right season. So I figured I'd come off there and do YouTube for a while to keep going, to start getting more viewers and followers and people who are interested in my voice. And then after they know me, then I can go back and plug back in the network and to be able to help everybody else, because I didn't have the people, nor did I have the viewers. Well, on the viewers, I had about 5,000 daily who were watching. And it was great, but they were only watching some of the old television shows, Lucy, different ones, Bonanza, and then they were watching our content. Our content was the most watched was Michael Baran podcast and Beyond the Lights. But yeah, if we can get together, as a community and start telling people about it, in a heartbeat, I definitely plug it back in, because I can. It's already set. It's just a matter of cutting a check again to have it back on, and then sky is the limit. You have distribution around the world. I had people in Colombia watching, South Africa watching, India, all along the U.S., Japan, and Europe. I think it was London. But we were in every country. But you just got to have that thing going. You got to have that machine going, and the business part. Because if you're not bringing in money, and it's always going out, at some point we're gonna unplug it.
You
So.
hemorrhage too much. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just about getting people to know about it. So people like yourself in the film community, and we can talk about it. I talked to Matt, I think it was Friday. I was like, I think I want to plug it back in. I just unplugged it in June. It was the June 1st. No, actually, it was June 19th. It was the same day that I aired, 3 years to the day. And so in 2025, I want to put it back in, but to plug it back up and put it back on the network. But I need to bring people in. I want to have a community where we can, have filmmakers like yourself and have a place to promote your stuff. And even doing something like that, if we can have a few filmmakers, I won't even charge you to do that. It's about giving you the publicity and promoting so that more people can come and say, I want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. Together we win. So we can talk about it, definitely. And then get in some of these groups and let them know, hey, if you want a home, you need a home, the Tide Network, that's what it's all about. So once we get that going, I'm ready to rock and roll. And we can do our movie and have it on there and get that money exactly directly from the viewers who watch it and as we promote it and push it,
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's the potential is sky high.
Yes. We are our only limitation in our mind, but you have to be around people who also believe that and believe in the dream, and we push each other and fuel each other. But if you get around people who don't think about the possibilities and the dreams and the yes, we can, they're just going to accept what is given to them. And I refuse to conform to just what's given, because I know all of the things that we have in our head, our imagination is key. And I heard Steve Harvey, I think I heard him say that. I think it's from Einstein. Our mind and our imagination, these things that we see, are life's coming attractions. It's just like if you go to the movie theater and you want to see I don't know what's playing right now, but whatever is out, you go to the movie theater. If you get there early enough, you sit down with your popcorn and you're watching the movie. Well, you sit down, the lights turn out, and then their previews are coming. You didn't go there to see the previews. You went there for the movie, but the previews are coming attractions to movies that are not out yet. And that is exactly what our dreams are. It's life's coming attractions that hasn't happened yet, but it can happen if you're willing to put in the work. So if you want it, it is possible. All of the dreams, all of the things that you envision, we can accomplish every one of those things if we're willing to put in the work and work for it. So we can, it's two ways to go at it. We can go for it and receive it, or we can just say, oh, it's just an idea. And it falls
right.
to the wayside.
Are you going to sit?
Yeah.
You going to sit down on it, or are you guys going to to produce.
That's what it's about. And I refuse to live my life and the remaining of it in a place to where, the cemetery is the place where you have the most regret, wishing that those ideas were given to somebody else because they were too afraid to move out on it. And I was like, wow, I don't want to be that type of person. Everything that I've envisioned so far, that's why I'm doing these things. I see these things and I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to just go and do it and make it happen, because I can say, even if it doesn't reach the level and the magnanimity that I wanted it to, nobody can say I didn't do it. I still did it. And you just think about the possibilities. But what if it does work? You don't not do it because you think it can't work. But whatever you believe, you're right, because you. I can't do that. Okay. Well, you're right.
And here's something is and going along with that, I mean, is living in to make your dreams come true and everything. You living in that, out of your comfort zone. That's the biggest thing. I mean, it's like I had one friend that was like, I'm going into this new part of my life, and it seems like I'm getting, I'm going to be getting a bigger job, doing all that type of stuff. But man, my stomach's I'm sick to my stomach. And I'm nervous and everything. And I said, that's actually a good thing, because that's when your body is telling you're going to the next level. And that's the thing is, getting out of that comfort zone and pushing it, and that's the thing. It's like, if you don't get out of that comfort zone and you don't try to get out of there and try with new things and all that type of stuff, it's like you said, living your dream and really pushing it. That's very important. You know
what's crazy? Actually, I heard a video today, a few hours ago, about that very thing. But it was talking about, what they were talking about was frequencies, and how we're all energy, and we're all dealing with different frequencies. And we seem to be, a lot of times, unless you have that paradigm shift and move out of that frequency to obtain more, you're constantly just in the same routine, the same flow, the same type of a thing. And we're just in that frequency. And when you want to go to a different level or obtain different things, you have to turn the dial to get on a different frequency. And what they were saying was, when you tap in to go into that different frequency and you want to experience something different, where you say, I want to make more money. Well, the level that we're on and the money that we're making and the lifestyle we're living, we're on a certain frequency. To now get to a different frequency, to experience a different altering life reality of, having the Hollywood, all of that stuff. It's a certain frequency you have to be on. When you get out of that, and I'm looking at it as like a wave or tube, and if that one comes out, gravity in the universe is pulling us back in to where we were to keep the natural flow in order. And in order to get out of that frequency, to then get into a new reality, to go higher, to obtain these other things, you're going to be tested. The old frequency, our emotions, our feelings, everything that we do, that's how we kind of move. We only respond a certain way, only won't talk to certain people because we don't, that's that drama or this whatever. So it's that energy. And so the frequency with the energy is keeping us in this so that we can maintain and be at this even plane. And so when you get out of it and you're going, it's turbulence, because you're not, those old feelings, though that old energy is trying to pull you back, because we have that tie with those feelings and that energy. And until you get out of that and then change your mind thinking about how you felt about that situation or whatever, is going to keep trying to pull you down, because it's been with you for years, that stronghold, that energy, that pull. And so once you get out of that, you have to have different thinking to have then different results. And so you have to consistently keep telling yourself, keep reminding yourself all of these things to get out, to get into a different platform, so that you don't stay where you are, because most people stay stuck because they can't get out. And that was the frequency. I don't know if I went too deep, but when you said that, it just reminded me.
I've heard that.
You know, so I was
I've heard that type of theory.
Yeah, different frequencies.
And you're absolutely right.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get to a different I'm tired of being in this frequency where I'm at, and I'm just like, you know, I want more. And so I'm trying to get to abundance so that I can create everything that I want to create, and put you on the next level in the platform. Somebody has to do it, so why not me, right? We just need other people behind us to say, man, I believe in you. You can do it. When you get there, man, it's going to be so great, because I know I'm coming up and putting my stuff on the network, and that's what it's about. We all need each other. And once we realize that we need each other, instead of being individuals and I got mine and it's just so hard, it doesn't have to be that hard if we partner and we work together.
Oh, yeah. It always takes a team. It takes a team in everything. I mean, like when I do commercials or bigger stuff, you have to have a crew. You can never do it by yourself. It's very hard. You have to have that team. You have to have a team of people,
and with the right team.
And the right team, having the right team, that's very important.
Talking about that, you've done dozens of movies now. How do you pick the right team?
When you work on a project with somebody and if something didn't click, you're probably not going to work with that person again. But like you, I've worked with Matt a few times, and so I know him as being one of the right pieces for a team. And there's people that put in that hard work. Yeah, you're welcome, Matt. The people who put in that hard work, they're easy to see. And that's who you want to trust again.
Okay, so just starting out, what advice would you give? For me, I want to do this film. I'm definitely going to hire you and Matt and, to get people who know what they're doing, instead of trying to take it. But somebody who doesn't have you or Matt or, what is the process? Where do you start? Because even when I got out of film school, I mean, it was tragic what happened to me, and I paid good money to be taken advantage of. I'll tell you about that in a second. But starting out, what's the process of finding your crew or finding someone that you believe can help you to get the job done?
Well, you might need a producer or someone who can find that crew, someone. You know how we were talking about the producer's rep and how they had the contacts? Mm-hmm. Well, same with somebody who's already in it. They already know people. So you're finding someone who knows more than yourself to do some of that legwork and make the right connections. And people in the business, now, like you say, you're starting out, but if I've been doing it a little while and I already know I trust people like Matt, and my buddy Robert. I trust Robert. There's people I trust that I could use again, and I can refer, for example, to you. I say, yeah, that's a person that you could trust to do this or that, and it's just about getting in that circle or finding someone who's in that circle already.
What would be the most valuable advice you think you would be able to give me, say, March of 2025, I'm looking to go ahead and start pre-production on my movie. I got script. How, most times when you're working on your first thing, you're walking in blind and you just think that it's going to be great. What advice would you give me to say, to make sure that this process is not
it's all about the planning, really.
Okay. Discouraging. That's what the word I was looking for.
Okay. Yeah. So you want to have a good pre-production, a good planning phase where you'll either storyboard it, but you'll get that project down. You'll know that you'll have locations lined up. So if you have your locations, you've got your movie, you've worked out the kinks with the story. What a lot of people do is they rush into a project and they don't fully flesh out their story or their characters. That's half the battle. And then the other half is getting the good people like to play those characters and be your crew. Like you want to use people that are going to deliver. Mm-hmm. And Matt and I, like, we both know, like, there's certain actors where we like, oh, this guy would be great in that and that, because we saw what he did. But I've told people that if you're using your friends as actors, or you're trying to save money by using less experienced people, that's going to show in your final product.
Oh yeah.
And whereas you could follow Anthony Hopkins around with a GoPro and he's going to deliver, and people aren't even going to care about the format. They aren't going to care about the format because it's Anthony Hopkins. And as long as I can see and hear him well, you know, that's already the first piece. So the first piece is going to be your great performers and your great crew to capture it.
Yeah, the actors and the content. As long as the content and the actors are there, yeah, you got something. You know, good time.
But then you and then you know that you've got people that can capture that, and then they can put it together afterwards, and you know, all that stuff we've already talked about with the editing and the music and so forth. It'll bear out. But I think knowing what you got going in, as far as like what Matt just said, your content, your story, is that working on the page? The feedback you're getting from the people who are reading it, is it working for them? And if not, why not? Because if you could get that right, then you go forward.
Oh, and then when you say the people who are reading it, are you referring to the actors or whom?
No, I'm referring to other people around you trust. It could be your partner, your spouse, your sister, and then of course people with movie knowledge. You know, you want to get their reaction to it. Like, is this working as a story? And if so, you know, why? If not, why?
Got it.
And once you get that down, where you got everybody saying, no, this is really good, and I like it because of this and this. If they can't tell you why they don't like it, then it's probably not hitting. But if you get them actually excited about it, you're like, oh, I know this is right. We got to go forward with it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm picking your brain already. You know, it's coming.
But yeah, story is key.
Okay, got it. Story is key. Everything else will fall into place when you have good actors, good script, good actors.
Oh yeah, big time.
Good script, good actors. Yeah, that's your starting point.
And then after that,
and then obviously you want, you know, a creative filmmaker, an editor, and so forth. So yeah.
Okay. So after you these two movies, you sell them in November. Anything on the back burner in your mind, like a project you want to work on? You have anything yet, or?
Well, there's that Robert script called Trauma Wolf. It's a werewolf versus the mob movie.
Hold on, say that again. I lost you for a second.
Robert and I wrote a story called Trauma Wolf.
Okay.
And it's Pain is the Change. It's a werewolf movie versus the mob thing. That's something we want to do. But there's also an old project I have called Exile, which someone asked me, and they offered to put it on Tubi and all this. And I was like, you know what? When I have to redo the edit on that because I lost my master to it. My computer crashed. My RAID drive crashed, and I don't have I've got all the original footage. I just don't have the master cut of it. But I was like, so I would love to put that back together, because that was actually on Amazon. That was the movie I was telling you was making $1,200 a month. People were watching it.
And you said they said they wanted to put it on Tubi.
Yeah.
Who said that?
Yeah, some his name was Federico somebody. I'd have to go through my emails again. But he says, you know, he's like, yeah, you can make about $5,000 a year with you know, we could get it on Tubi and a couple of these platforms. And I was like, well, I don't have it for you right now, but I was like, you know what? It would be good to have that sorted so I can move that product again.
Do you know the back end of giving it to Tubi or something like that? What's the deal? What's the deal that they're giving you? You're signing it away for a certain period of time? Okay. A lot of times you sign a deal like with a distributor who is going to put it on different platforms. It used to be typically a 7-year deal. But you can rework that to whatever is, you know, benefits both parties, you know, what makes most sense. I can only tell you about the old deals. Okay. We'll have to have you on again to talk about the new deal. And after November.
Yes, after the 2 new movies. Yes.
Okay, got it. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I did the deal. I did a 1-year deal, and then the other stuff, I bought out, and I can show it as many times as I want, all of the content that was on the Taija Network. So there's multiple ways to actually make it happen. So I was just seeing what has worked for you in the past or what have you've done. So because when I turn it back on, I want to be better. I want to make sure that we're running on all cylinders and there is no lack there. So anybody in the salespeople, tell them to call me, you know, the back end stuff business, I need it all.
And
I'm sure that'll be an easy research for the Tubi back end.
Say that again?
You can research that pretty easily.
Yeah.
To find out what the Tubi deals are.
Okay. Matt.
There's a lot of people on distribution sites. I'm talking about, you know, filmmaking and distribution that can give you that data.
I've never been to those sites. What kind of site is it? It's just a distribution data deal site or what?
I'm talking about sites where there's groups of filmmakers who have had deals. Some of them will share that with you.
Oh, okay,
what they got.
Okay. Is that like a YouTube? I mean, a Facebook or something different, a different site, actual?
Yeah. There's multiple Facebook groups on that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. All right, got it. All right, Matt.
I think I belong to like 20 of them.
Really? Now how does that work? You just turn off the notifications or what? Because that's got to be a lot of
well,
constantly.
It just comes to my feed, and if something grabs my eye, I click on it. But I don't mind it coming through my news feed. It's not actually hitting my notifications that much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. Because sometimes you get stuff and it's constantly bling, bling, bling. I just turn off all notifications. I'm like,
right.
I'm not into it like that anymore on social media. So, but Matt, anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, like, everything's spot on with like what he's talking about, and especially with going into things like the American film market. You come in, you got products. He's got a couple films he's got, you know, and also, Mike, I got to ask you, like, when you went to the American film market, did they was it a big deal too about your trailers at all? Like your trailers that you had did you use trailers at all to pitch them at all? Just out of curiosity.
Yes, trailers were used on all my movies, and then that's to get their attention, and then they can go from there, because they'll usually have a digital copy of the movie that they might want to scan through. And like I said, they would scan through that at fast speed.
So it's like yeah. So even if you went in, like, let's say you went in with a TV show, you come in with basically a sizzle reel, and then having a couple of episodes to back up.
Yeah, but you want to have enough material for when they follow up and they want to see a little more.
Right,
like,
right.
They'll say, show me this or show me that. So it's good, like, not to have just a sizzle reel. Like, if you could have an entire episode, for example.
So would you have a iPad or something like that with you with all of it on there, or a laptop, or how do you show them this?
Yeah, usually it's been a laptop. And again, I'm not talking about recent. This is more than 10 years ago, but
right.
But yeah, like on a laptop.
And so sometimes they would make deals there, or would they want to see more or sleep on it?
Yeah.
So if you do that, do you just give them a thumb drive of the content or no?
No, just the deal is made there. Then they have what is called deliverables. So they're going to want the movie with the separate tracks of like the music and the effects and the dialogue. They're going to want the tracks separated so they can insert their own language if they want. And nowadays it's the closed captioning that like you go to companies like Rev and they'll close caption your movie, and so that people can pull up the captions.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But
okay.
Yeah, there'll be different things. Sometimes deliverables is like errors and omissions or chain of title, some things that, you end up paying for, but there'll be a whole bunch of things. They're going to want all your artwork, your posters.
Okay. What's the, I know people sometimes make big deals from independent standard and people that what was like the biggest deal that someone has made going in to sell one of their things? Is it a few $100,000?
Well, like in the good old days. No. The $1 million deal, I believe, was the Blair Witch.
Okay.
Because, they made that movie for supposedly $60,000.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe they got the $1 million deal.
Okay.
So that was like the big one.
Not too many of those go around.
But
actually,
right,
I think
right.
that movie made a lot of money.
Yeah, isn't it one of the highest grossing movies of all time, at least compared to what their budget was?
Yeah, it supplanted Halloween as the highest grossing indie for, I don't know if it remains that, but it passed up Halloween as the highest grossing indie at that time.
Would you say what is that the lowest grossing movie of all time right now is Borderlands? I was so looking forward to that film, but then I heard how bad it went.
That's in theaters now, right?
Yeah, it's in theaters
Kevin Hart.
right now. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think it would have got like one of the lowest Rotten Tomatoes scores of all time.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was a fan of the games. I was like, bummer.
I saw the trailer, and I was like, I felt like you, man. I was like, I said, maybe I want to see it. I'm not rushing to the theater. I was like, maybe I'll go see it. What did I end up seeing? There's a few movies I want to see before that. I saw Bad Boys.
Me and Mike went and saw Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw that good. Too. That was funny. That was legit. Like, I was entertained throughout the entire film. I loved it.
I'm getting old.
Why are you saying that? Why?
It was the first time, and I know people are going to hate that I say this, and it wasn't. I was on vacation. My wife and I, we were in San Diego, and we played golf that day. It was hot. Actually, I still have sunburn. I never got sunburned so bad before than in San Diego. And we went to the movies. It was her birthday, and we saw that because she's a huge Deadpool fan, and we both fell asleep, and it was the most expensive. Wow. It was the most expensive movie ticket that I ever purchased, and I can't believe that I fell asleep in that movie.
Oh, wow! And that's a loud action movie too.
It was $25.
Sunbird will do that.
Yeah, it's true. It will wear you out.
But I was like, am I getting old or what? Because I was like, I love the movies. I've never fall asleep in the movies. But yeah, $25 to get in. We did dinner beforehand. Then you get the popcorn and the soda. That was an expensive movie. For just two people, it was $100.
Oh, yeah.
And I fell asleep. Can't believe it.
I plan on seeing Alien Romulus. I know Mike went and saw it. And I think you enjoyed it, right? At least enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. I had some issues with it, but it was definitely an entertaining movie.
How was it in comparison with the original?
Oh, okay, that's hard.
Aliens and aliens. that is top of the heap, right? Those are my 10 out of 10 movies. Mm-hmm. This took some elements, like, for instance, the alien life cycle was really fast. Like this, I don't want to put too many spoilers, but like a character has a chest burster coming out of them, like within minutes after having a face hugger pulled off. I'm like, they don't grow that fast. They don't move that fast. And then when you watch the beginning of Aliens, they said, we've never encountered a creature like that in over 300 surveyed worlds. So they didn't really know about it, yet all the stuff that happens in Alien Romulus, which is in between those two movies in the timeline, it takes place 20 years after Alien and 37 years before Aliens. So here's the company that is dying to alien through quarantine, and yet they had loads of aliens on the Remus Romulus space station, and they were just letting that go. It didn't make sense to me. There were some story issues I had with it.
Well, I mean,
was it suspenseful? Was the makeup great? The effects were great. I actually liked a couple of the characters. The guy who played the android, he was awesome. Kaylee Spaney was good.
And I like old school effects. I'm glad that they did do old school effects, and there's not.
I would say it's worth watching.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, like.
Sorry if I went into it too much.
No, that's fine.
We're movie lovers.
Yeah, we're all movie lovers.
You can say the whole movie. It's not going to mess me up one bit when I go to the movies and sit down. All of that stuff is gone.
And then at the very end.
No spoilers.
No, I won't say anymore.
Be careful.
I'm joking.
We still have an audience who probably hasn't seen it too. And then if you spoil it for me, I'm going to be bummed too.
I'm not. I don't. But, people can tell me spoilers. I still will be. I'm like, I may see him like, oh, okay, but I still enjoy it for myself. I have that gift. I don't know. It doesn't spoil it for me. Every time I see it, it's. For the first time.
What I said is going to help you because it's going to lower your expectations and you'll enjoy it more.
Okay.
You'll say, well, Mike had these issues, but I like this movie.
Right.
It's kind of like, I remember they used to have that skit on Mad TV where it'd be called Lowered Expectations.
Okay. I like the singing part right there. We got Matt.
He loves my singing. Yes.
It's all good. But yeah, no, actually, it wasn't even, if I'm honest, it wasn't on my list to see. So I'll have to go and see it.
Go see it for sure.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Strange Darling that's out, and it's more of a film noir suspense thing, and I hear it's different. I want to see that.
I haven't heard of it.
There was one I wanted to go
Strange Darling.
Strange Darling.
Strange Darling. Okay.
And that's not you, Matt. I'm not referring to you, Matt.
Of course, I know. I'm a strange darling. I'm a very strange darling.
Actually, I'm a little different now. There's a movie that actually I love going to the movies, so I can go at any time. Sometimes I'll just go in the middle of the day and just go see a movie. I was going to do that the other day and then got sidetracked with some business. But there's a movie out right now called This Ends With Me. So I was like, yeah, I looked at the trailer and it was playing at the time where I just wanted to go see something, and I didn't go see that, but that looks really good. I want to go see that. There's a few that I want to go see.
I like
just
that
have to get the
title.
time. Yeah, This Ends With Me.
That sounds pretty interesting. I mean, like,
I hear Cuckoo is pretty good too.
I hadn't even heard of it. Cuckoo.
But hey, watch your leg.
Well, is that a comedy? I didn't see a trailer for it or anything.
It might. It looks like another suspense thing, but I'm not sure how much comedy is in there.
Really, a suspense movie?
Yeah, like when I say suspense, like more horror or oriented.
Huh. Because it does. Yeah. There I am again. Interesting.
Suspense movie?
I mean, because it doesn't sound like a suspense thriller to me. I mean, that's interesting how they. There was another movie I saw. I could stand it. Was The Kinds of Kindness. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It sucked because there was so many great actors in it. I mean, you had Emma Stone and Willem Dafoe in it and all that, and I was just like, it didn't make any sense to me. It was hard to follow.
Really?
It was one of the most bizarre and boring. It was long. It was a long movie.
There's a movie I want to see. I saw the trailer, and it looks really good. I love the way that they did it, and then it's kind of a throwback, so I'm not really sure. I think it's called Maxine or Maximum or something like that.
Yeah, it's Maxine.
Maxine.
And that is it's part of a trilogy which started with X and then Curl, and then it ends with Maxine. But Mia Goth is the lead actress in all three.
Really, the same girl.
But yeah, they're all Ty West films, and so they're kind of related. But I hear Maxine does stand on its own, so it's like a 70s.
Yeah, I love that
dark side of Hollywood. Yeah,
but also the is that the Bates movie? The Bates Motel was in there. You remember that movie back in the 70s? The Bates Motel.
Well, Psycho was in 1960.
Yeah, Psycho was the Bates Motel, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the trailer of Maxine, they cut and she goes to the Bates Motel, and I think there's murders or something like that happening there.
Really? Like so they like kind of linked the two.
Yeah. Actually, if we can here put the movie trailer.
It could be. I haven't seen the movie, but it could be because she's on the set. Like of Universal.
Oh,
where they have that set.
Oh, so it could be a movie. Okay, I thought it was actually.
I have to see it. I hear it's actually pretty good.
That's cool. So, hey, we're gonna do a pause right here. Do a pause sign for me real quick, John Maurice.
Pause.
So that way.
Pause,
okay.
Pause,
so
pause.
we're gonna switch this up. So this episode isn't gonna be a recap because we're already at an hour 33 minutes.
Yeah, it's the first of its kind.
This is Mike Conway coming back. So our guest Mike Conway.
This is a recap with Mike Conway.
So we'll make sure when we do when we do the outro, we got Mike Conway on the phone. We'll also record a new intro for it too.
Yeah, this is a recap.
Three guys.
Because we
three
went
guys jabbing.
Hour and 35 minutes, and we didn't recap on any other episodes or anything.
It doesn't matter.
Which is fine. It doesn't matter. This is a great episode. It's
there's Words Matter with John Maurice, and then there's Shooting the Shit with Mike Conway.
That's right.
There you go.
That actually would be a really cool show. And we could just talk about all different genres of movies and different things and filmmaking and how they did it. That actually would be pretty good.
Yeah. And I want to introduce my new horror film, Dash Cam of the Deceased. No, that's it. I'm joking.
You can't do that.
Is that an actual film? Is that an actual film idea?
No, I'm joking.
No, hold on.
Still sounds like it actually sounds like a good film idea.
You know what pops into my head?
I thought it,
Now check this out, man.
I thought it could be. Okay, go ahead.
Now check this out. Now this is what happened in my mind. So when you said that, I actually saw the whole movie coming. This is about a guy. He is a aspiring film actor, right? Or a filmmaker. And this documents the last day of his life. It starts in the morning and he's got his camera with him all the time and he's working on different things. So you actually see a day in the life of him going from the morning to breakfast to going different places. And now it's not all necessarily him individually doing the camera. It's a movie following him, but then you see the camera work and you can add that in and put the dash cam on. And at the end of the day or whenever it is, he meets the end of his demise. And that's the dash cam. And so when the police come and get the camera, they review everything back. Now, maybe it could be a little twist on the inside, finding out that when they're reviewing the cameras, they notice that people have been following him and that this actually was a setup and he was murdered because he was about to be, it's something like that. But it could be suspenseful, but you just thinking it's a day in the life and all this guy captured.
I like it.
It's funny you said that, John. Just I actually thought about it just a couple hours ago today when I was driving over here, and I was because I had my dash cam going, and I was like, and I just thought, hey, dash cam of the deceased, and what if when the car crashed, the dash cam, mine's magnetic, and it popped off, and the cops they investigated it, but they just thought it was a crash, but then a relative comes in, I want to see the car. I want to see the scene. And he searches the car and he finds like the dash cam under the seat. And then he's like, I want to review this. And so he's looking for the clues to the death of his brother or whoever it was.
But check this out. Check this out. When the camera falls on the floor. And so it kind of, what happens is the battery dies out after a while. But when he has the accident and the camera on the floor and you see kind of the guy bent over and from the accident and it's just going and you see like a minute or two where it's just focused on him because now the camera's on the ground in the car and you see him leaned over in the body and just filming, and then you see the door open and you see a guy pull him out and you actually see the guy take his, and make sure that he's dead, whether he shoot him or whatever. And so now the murder is actually captured on the camcorder when the battery dies out and the family takes it. So they were just going to sweep it on the rug, but now he got the evidence of it. So now, hello?
Ooh, 1 second.
Did we lose him?
Call him back. I think he broke up. That's good.
Okay.
Sorry, Matt. I accidentally hung up on you guys. I was like, no. I was like, John, don't reveal the whole plot. Matt, you got to cut off the podcast and we got to go make this movie.
Yeah, but that's a good plot, right?
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're not live. This is recorded, so.
But yeah,
man.
Imagine that and his whole death. And so the family member is going and find out who it was at the end. I actually saw the whole thing when you just made that snapshot. And
isn't that funny?
That's how my brain works. That's why I'm always like, when something is said and it's sparked, then I'm like, I see it. And I see it in the fullness in like a split second. Then I'm like, hey, you guys want to get together? You kind of want, I'm already now working the politics. There's a few things that I have. Yeah. I have a one that I want to do is called Rider. And it is a nice guy.
Not too many details.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's about a rideshare driver who turns out to be, evil, And so it kind of would follow kind of like I want it to be dark. Jake Gyllenhaal did a movie where they were like
Yes, he was following the people.
The news camera.
And he was setting up to the news. Yeah.
Nightcrawler.
Right. So I wanted
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Yeah, I want it to be dark like that, but then also I remember Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise did a movie where he was the Collateral.
Oh yeah, Collateral.
Yeah, Collateral.
So imagine
that was really good.
Like an Uber driver and having the cameras in there where you can, really see the streets and inside, and you know what I'm saying. Then he's picking up people, and you just have regular people and have these conversations. But then he goes off and do some weird things,
So you're gonna do like what Jaws did for the ocean. You're gonna do for Uber. Everyone will be scared to get in an Uber again. And those are the types of films that to have that type of impact.
It's realistic.
Is good. It's a good thing.
Man, I've driven. Yeah. I do rideshare before, and I remember having a few times where the hair in the back of your neck stand up when you're driving at night. What I hate is when people were sitting right behind the driver, and there's just and you're right behind me. Get on the other side, the back seat of the passenger side, so at least I can see you out the peripherals. But if you sit right behind, and then it was at nighttime, and then you going down like the 95 going towards Centennial Hills, and those dark back there, and you can't see nothing, and all you just feel the you know what I'm saying? And most of the time it's a big guy that gets in the car, and the profile on the app was a woman, and you expecting a woman to get in, and this big burly guy gets in, and he sits behind you. Somebody's gonna kill you, anything. So maybe it can, we can work that angle and just call him Ryder.
So John, how you were saying what does a first timer do to get a good start? And we were talking about good story, good actors, good technique. But when you can find something that's very topical to the masses, that people can identify with, and like we're talking about, Uber and dash cams, those are things that people, they can see the spin on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it makes for a better sell, a better, people will gravitate towards something. They say, oh, I like the spin on that.
Right. It's another one, because you can do multiple. You can do the one where the guy is the aggressor. Then there's another one where there's a woman who, she is sexy. She is fine. She is, that slutty, the girl you want, and she is a serial killer. So she goes late nights and she gets with these rides, and she get the guy to come back to her place, and then she chloroform and just gone. You know what I'm saying? And she just takes the car and take it to in the desert somewhere, burn it.
A lot of different angles.
So it's like let's get together and make some movies, man. Let's do it. It can be even cheap ones. Let's just do it. I'm ready to just.
Well, and that's the thing.
Hey,
it's
and
just
how we were talking about. Sorry, Matt. We were talking about the semi trucks and stuff. You can incorporate all that into the dash cam thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's also like another thing about good filmmaking too is also use what resources you have on hand as well into your whatever film that you're doing. That's how some big great filmmakers were able to do things that with a low budget, and they had a great story, had good actors, and then they used what resources they had at hand, and that's a resource that you would have at hand.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. But this is where the magic happens, where 2 and 3 get together and you start brainstorming and start talking about the possibilities, and it just comes together, man. There's power in unity, and there's power in fellowship, because when you're alone, you think of certain things, but you can have a great imagination, but when you look at these movies, it's always several people putting in to make sure that the project comes out really amazing. If it was just one dimensional. You can create great movies with just one writer and all of that stuff. But when you have people who can help to add in, to incorporate, to make it better, and it's like a gumbo, man. You just have something good. When you look at the people who win the Academy Awards or the Grammys, and they win, you're looking at one person, you think, man, that person did it. But it was a huge amount of people behind that one person. I saw one guy on YouTube talking about the difference between like hip hop music and just all other genres, whether it's country, pop music, whatever. Like Adele, when she won a Grammy, you had like 30 people coming up on stage that was all included in helping making that song or album a best song, and you have 30 minds coming together to make sure that everything, it articulates, it reaches the people, and to get that one message. And then you have, like hip hop, and you might have just the engineer, the producer, and the rapper, and they come in, you just got 2 or 3 minds. It's kind of hard to win when, in other genres, you have so many people working to make it a collaborative effort to make it great. Same thing with the movies. You look at a Marvel movie, you got hundreds and hundreds of people on there.
Oh yeah, even the people who write the script, there's never just one script writer. I mean, there's multiple, and a lot of times they'll go through multiple phases of a script. They'll have, multiple drafts and that sort of thing. And sometimes there'll be another writer that comes on and you got another draft going on,
But imagine how hard it is for the independent who don't have a lot of money, who don't have the resources, and you just got to do one. So it's like, it's hard. Yeah. So stop trying to do everything on your own. And there's power in unity, and you can get there together,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's the way to do it. I mean, like I said, it's like even when you're shooting a film or shooting anything, you have to have, because it's always when you try to do everything on your own and you get pulled off in too many directions, then it becomes difficult, and then also your what you're working on has an adverse effect on it, And I've dealt with that. There's been times where I've tried doing stuff as a one-man band, years ago, and it just, no.
Come out. Right.
It's when I get with the right people like Mike Conway and all that type of stuff, that we all start working together, and everything turns out amazing.
The great thing to become a great leader, you have to learn how to designate and give things to other people. And make it happen. Because they have fresh eyes. They're excited. You can't do it all, and you just said it. So that's what it's all about, man. That's what Taijin is all about: tying the generations together, working as a team.
And something else, like even Mike, Mike's an amazing composer. Mike is absolutely. Are you still there, Mike? Did we lose him?
I am still here.
Messing with us.
Okay.
Wait, you were just talking about how amazing that was. I shut up for a minute.
Oh yeah. You are, because that's another thing is like what composing music and stuff like that. Like, because sometimes we'll work on something, I'll give it to him, and then he'll compose the music to it, and it adds a whole nother level, whole nother level, because then when because there's been times where I played like with commercials, I played back the commercial without the music, and then I played it with the music, and I've got clients go, oh my god, wow, I didn't. And it's one of those. It's one of those. Sometimes it seems like a subliminal thing, but it's. And it just the style and everything. I mean, that's something. I mean, like, yeah, Mike, you're just amazing with your music and everything. And like you said, like self-taught.
I've always been a believer that music will bring out your subtext in your film. Mm-hmm. It punches up these things that someone might not have been seeing with their eyes, like for instance, an emotion that a character might be having. Well, the music can punch that up, even though you might not be showing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike, I got a question for you. You know, my brain is starting to go now. So masking, but I'm planning ahead. Have you ever had in any of your movies a black lead?
Lead? No, I don't. I've had all sorts of actors, but no, I don't think I have.
Okay,
I did.
You did?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
With remember, Mike, that.
Well, when you say a lead, you're talking about the star.
Yeah, I'm talking about the star. And what I'm actually doing is I'm going around the mulberry bush. I'm talking about me, man. Mike, I'm talking about me. But that's what I'm talking about. We need to do a movie together, and I want to be the lead.
Yeah, you got the acting chops for
it. Before, Jim? I mean,
but I had an African American lead. Remember when I did that zombie film, the lead mercenary, very lead character, Sean Manning, absolute amazing actor from Detroit. I mean, he was, he was absolutely amazing. He did all of his stuff with Dave Kilgore, and how they bounced off of each other was absolutely amazing. I couldn't have asked for a better actor. He was, oh man. I always said if he's out here in Vegas, I totally want to bring him in on some stuff too, you know.
Hey, Mike, do you know any good acting coaches? Yes,
John.
sir. Yes, sir.
Good acting coaches? I know a couple of self-proclaimed good ones.
Oh no! I think I know what you're talking about, but we're not going to go there.
Hey, take it easy. But you know, a lot of people are using Abby Ray's place too.
Oh yeah, she's cool.
Abby Ray.
Oh
yeah, I know.
She actually reached out to you about being on the podcast. She's a sweetheart. She's awesome.
Yeah, so I like her. She is an actor. I was about to ask you about her. Yeah,
she has an academy. Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They teach all sorts of techniques like Meisner and I want to say Stanislavski techniques, and she covers a lot.
Okay. Well, I'm going to reach out to I actually, she sent me an email. I just sent one back a little while ago. She saw our correspondence on YouTube and interested in doing some things together. She said she worked with you. I was like, okay, cool. And I told her, actually, I said, you know, if she wanted to call in to this one, because I was going to have you call in as well. I don't know if she got the message in time, but yeah. I
was supposed to call in for 15 minutes.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, like I said, now it's a full episode.
Yeah.
It's a full episode now. And with Abby, because Abby's here in Vegas, so I'm figuring maybe we'll bring her into the studio for sure. Have her do a live one. That'd be fun.
I'm cool. Definitely gonna do that. And the key is what I'm thinking about now, because I'm setting up. I already told you I am going to do a movie, and I definitely want to work with you on some stuff. Mm-hmm. So now I want to start making sure that I am ready when it happens. I want to be ready with my acting. I've done acting before, I've done plays, but I just want to make sure that when I do it this time, especially because I'm paying for it. I want to be good. I want to be really, really good. So I need somebody who will be able to help get me to the next level to be ready for camera work. I love being in front of the camera, but you know, the facial expressions, the eyes, looking into the not looking into the camera when you're doing the movie is different from, you know, trying to be an influencer or a podcaster talking. So I want to work on that. So
pretending the camera's not there, but Mike's an amazing actor. Actually, Mike, I had you act in stuff before. Actually, remember I had you as a mafia boss before. Remember when we were doing that?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I forgot.
Yeah, you were really good. Yeah, it was you and Gabe Nolasco.
Because I had the money. I had the suitcase full of money.
We had a big giant duffel bag full of money and everything. And I liked the because you ad-libbed some banter with Gabe, where because you could tell that Gabe's character was very nervous, the first time ever being having to do this kind of transaction. So you're like, are you doing okay? Did you look like you ate something that maybe didn't agree with you, huh? Kind of like testing the waters with them. You did some really cool stuff there, which I loved. It was really, really good.
I think what I did was, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Almost, yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I did not.
Okay.
But it was cool. Because adding in a little bit, you added a little bit more onto there, and sometimes that's really cool. I like when actors can do that, as long as they're getting the gist across. Because that's a big thing.
I like
the script.
Natural interchange. And when the people who do improv, those are good actors to have, John, when they can improv on the spot. And they do classes for that, where they will improv a whole scene. And those people are great to have because you can make changes and they will roll with it. They can roll with changes and make scenes better.
A good improv actor, I have to say, is people like Greg Vaccarillo, Stephen Pearl. Those two were good. Absolutely. They rolled with it. I mean, like, we gave them a script, and then they just took their two characters, and then they started ad-libbing a whole bunch of lines, and just how they were able to bounce off of each other because they're both comedians. And obviously, you could tell that they could definitely do improv just off the cuff. It's probably because they do a lot. They also, the both of them have done a lot of crowd work too. So that's a lot of that. That is a lot of improv when you're a comedian and you're doing crowd work. You're basically improving. You're improving with whoever's in that audience and coming up with jokes to either make fun of them or come up with a whole nother subject.
Kind of like Matt Rife does whole shows based on his improv. Matt Rife.
Oh yeah, and I've heard of that. I've heard of that comedian. Yeah, he's.
My wife likes watching him. I'm like, turn that off.
Oh yeah. Well, that is his selling point because he is. Yeah, that's all the women love him.
Really? You got to send me his information. I don't know who that is.
Oh, he's a big comedian right now. He's got like Netflix special.
What's his name?
Matt Rife.
Matt Rife.
Yeah.
The thing is, he doesn't plan a show. He just picks someone from the audience. Someone will yell something, and he'll totally play off of that.
Mark Norman's another good one. Mark Norman's really good at that crowd work.
So,
John, do you do stand up? What kind of comedy?
You didn't know?
Yeah, I've been doing stand up for a while. Yeah, and actually, that's how I met Matt and Warren and everybody when I first moved here. I was a GM at a comedy club, and
that's a plus because comedians generally make for good actors.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. Well, it's always been the dream. So, and I love being on stage. So I need to definitely get back to it. But yeah, I had a whole routine. Now I actually have to. It was about going through my first divorce. So now I have to do a whole new routine because I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I had to move the page, but definitely married life.
You don't want to talk about your second divorce.
Nah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, you never know. But you know what? I don't even bring the energy to stuff like that. Life is always going to be life, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen. It's how you respond to it, and then it's also you have to take responsibility for it. What did I do or didn't do to make it get to this point? And if that's the case, then you just got to live with it and say, okay, well, who's next?
Well, and like I always say, a shark can never swim backwards.
You can't swim backwards.
And it's always got to stay moving, too.
Got to keep moving forward. But also, the thing that I am, where I'm at in life now is I'm not going to let you rattle me. No matter what, who or whatever, I'm not going to allow something to change my energy or frequency. I heard this other thing is I'm doing a lot of searching and gaining a lot of understanding. And they were talking about just how things can shift your energy or even your frequency. And they talk about how your mindset is key. And when you're talking about I'm trying to formulate this thing right. When they say that whatever emotion you're going through, that rules you at the moment. It's almost like if you are sad or if you are afraid, fear, well, that's your God at that moment. And you can either rise above it and is beneath you and you don't get affected by it. You understand it, but don't have your emotions to draw on it because those frequencies and that energy feeds off of that. And so if you are a fearful person, fear always want to be around you because it wants that energy. It thrives off your energy. So if you are afraid of whatever, so I'm like, whatever happens in life, I'm just going to not use emotions on it. And I'm not going to give judgment to it. So it is what it is. And I can either allow whatever it is to affect me in a negative way and bring me down, or I can allow that very thing to analyze it without judgment or emotions and see how I can use it to benefit me to keep moving forward. It's one of those two. And so I'm not going to allow that to give me an energy to get me down or frustrated or sad, because whatever has the strongest frequency at that moment wins. And that's where you're going to be. So if I know something that can stress me out and put me in a negative mindset or whatever, when something happens, I just say, stop, wait a minute, let it go, drop my emotions, drop my ego, drop the judgment, assess it. What is it? Because number one, it's not bigger than me. It is just an emotion. It's just a frequency and energy. And if I am in my right mind and knowing that, then I can adjust and not allow it to affect me so that I can keep in this same state of mind and energy. You know what I'm saying? As if I'm in a good place, if you have that inner peace and that heaven within, and you're just like, oh, this is amazing. And then something happening, oh, damn. And you don't want to do that. I don't want to interrupt. So I just, okay, that happened. Okay, what was it? All right. They said what? Okay, well, what happened? Okay. And then I'm just going on. I'm moving. No judgment on it. Okay, how either it's going to hurt me or it's going to help further me along. I want to use it to further me along. And if it's just gaining that knowledge and moving forward, that's what it is. And then it's going to the side, and I'm not letting that emotion and that energy take me out of my good energy to then feed to that negative energy, and that will keep playing and keep coming. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I'm at the place where I'm deciding.
Do it.
Yeah, I'm deciding and choosing, because whether you're happy or you're sad, or it's a good day or a bad day, if you're happy and whatever it is, I decide how I'm going to go through this moment. You're going to go through it, so you can go through it in a negative way and sad and God, why me? Or you can say, okay, all right, thank you for this test. I'm moving forward, and this too shall pass. I'm not worried about that anymore. What's next? What's in front of me? Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Period.
That's like the key to success right there, and not just success, but success in life. Like there's those people that can look at, oh, it's a rainy day, that's terrible, or people that say, oh, good, we're getting some water in the desert. That's
especially out here at this heat. We're finally.
No, but I'm saying life. Unless you have huge problems, you can usually look at the things in life as positives. Even if something kind of negative comes at you, that could be a huge learning process. So you could take a negative and turn it into a positive. And John, I agree with what you're saying about the energy and the frequencies and the positive attitudes, and not let the negativity get you down. And you can use that, like, for instance, like making a movie. What I tell people, making a movie is about navigating a minefield of obstacles, because that's what's going to get thrown at you. They're going to say, no, you can't do that. You can't do this. Your set burned down. you lost your lead actor. Do you shut down production? No, you're just like, okay, that's just another obstacle. Right. I just overcome it.
Yeah, man.
And keep going. And the attitude you're talking about, that's what you need to succeed, whether it's completing a movie or living your life.
Right. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly where I'm at. And you know what? My life is my movie. And I'm directing it now. There's so many things that I didn't know about this movie that I'm in. And I was just experiencing it instead of actually living it. And now I am producing it, and I'm like, nah, let's rewrite. We ain't going that way. You know, I've been through some scrapes and bruises, and now I've learned. That's how even the show, words matter. So even if there is something that's going on, or somebody says something, I stop, I shut my mouth, and then I let it process, and I think about it. And then I will say something, or I may not say anything at all. It's funny, because even I was talking with my wife the other day, and I think it might have been yesterday. And in every marriage, you have a great marriage. Everything is great. But there's sometimes it's like, what's going on? What are you doing? You need to blah, blah, blah. Or what's happening with this situation? And you hear things. We're having this conversation. And then she starts going into a part where it's more emotional. And I just say, okay. And next thing you know, it's almost like the Terminator comes on, and I can hear it and I can take it and I'm processing it, but I'm not going to say anything. You know, I'm definitely not going to respond on things from emotions, because when you respond like that, you say the wrong thing. Mm-hmm. You say it in the wrong tone and frequency, and then you mess up and you end up hurting people. And even though they forgive you, you still hurt them. And you cut them, and you can never take that back. So I just
words do matter. Words do matter.
I sit and I listen, and then I'm like, sometimes there's certain things that's happening, and I'm just like, I get it, and then I'm also at the same point like, she don't understand. She gets it, and she knows everything, but sometimes there's that inner spirit inside of you that gives you the direction, and you know where you're going or what you're going to do, or you know, I've been through a situation like this before, and it seems frustrating, but it's going to pass. So once you've gone through stuff, you don't respond the same way, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I can just sit there and just listen, take in the data, take in all the concerns and everything. And then from there, I'm like, okay, I need time to process. And then once I process, then I can respond back appropriately with things that's going to solve the issue, instead of, with ego or pride or saying the wrong thing that's just going to go in the wrong direction. And so I'm like, you know what? Okay. And when I do that process and I take it in and listen, then I can respond better and I can get a better result. You know?
Yeah, it's harder to shut up and listen than to just spit something out right away.
Yeah, and that's the same way. Even when I feel like I'm gonna respond with emotion, I always do take myself out of that situation with trying to respond with emotion.
Yeah,
I always do. I always have to. And then and you're right. Yeah, taking that time to take in the information that's been given to you, and then know how to, approach it properly. Right. That's the best way to approach it. Even
with text messages or emails, responding back, especially when something isn't that favorable, I actually go through a few different drafts. Because I'll write down everything that I'm feeling the first time, and I'm giving you my mind, and then it's like, I would have written you a short letter, but I didn't have the time, so I wrote you a long one. What do you mean?
Because, what you try to do is to be as concise and meaningful in like a paragraph. I couldn't do in a short amount of time. I had to think about it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Whereas if you wanted to just talk and write a quick letter, it's going to be longer and maybe mean less than something short and meaningful.
And then sometimes I've found it, if you're writing a long letter, sometimes you do kind of you find yourself, when you go back and reread, sometimes you will find yourself going, if you're on a subject, sometimes you do kind of go back around in a circle, kind of almost.
Right, and just edit yourself.
Yeah, and then you have to cut it down, because and just like what Mike said, you have to be concise with
Just give them the
quick
notes.
and straight to the point, And even if and especially if it's something difficult, because that's the one thing people always have a hard time with, and that's something I've noticed with my business and all that type of stuff is everybody does shy away from when something goes wrong, or if there's a difficult thing. It's, people try to avoid it, and that's the worst thing you could do, because the more that you avoid it, the worse the problem is going to get. The best thing to do is, if you have an issue or there's something wrong, you have to tear the Band-Aid off. You have to tear that Band-Aid off right away. And it's like also what Adam Savage would always say. This is what his son would always say to him. He'd go, it's Q-tip. Quit taking it personally. And so that's I think that's a big thing that people, especially young people, need to, it's difficult for a lot of people, when like I said, giving a client bad news, or giving somebody bad news that it's not, something happened, or this isn't going to work, it happens. You're having to roll with it.
So remember, audience, take this, if you don't take anything else with you home tonight. If your wife is going to go Lorena Bobbitt on you because you say a certain line, maybe you shouldn't say it.
You should say it. Yeah, you don't.
Well,
you don't want to ask the EMTs to look for your sausage on the side of the road. No.
That's a rough one.
That is a sausage party that nobody wants to be invited to.
Well, I don't think that.
But
if you got a woman that's going to do that just from what you say, then you got a problem.
No, exactly.
I don't know what I was talking about. I don't know how that went south to talking about your wife.
I didn't want to make such a smart comment when John was talking about with his wife and what he and she understand, when they communicate. So I didn't want to say it then, but I wanted to say it.
Yeah.
But I was going to say, the people searching for the perfect marriage should not get married, because there is no perfect marriage. It's about making work the relationship you have. And like you said, every relationship you're in, there's going to be highs and lows, and like the filmmaker, there's going to be obstacles. Are you going to succumb to the obstacle, or are you going to talk about it and get over it?
Well,
and it's do you have a positive attitude enough to do that?
Another good example was, remember from Beyond the Lights, Adam Ferrara? Mm-hmm. We had him as a guest, and he said something that really resonated with me.
Shout out Adam.
Yeah. And so it's like you're in your career, you're gonna have highs and lows, or the ups and downs, but it's how you navigate the downs. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
which is gonna define you.
Actually, he said it so cool too. He had it with that accent. John, it has the ups and downs, but it's how you navigate through it. I know that's not the way that he sounds, but in my mind,
it was good.
I was like,
he's got an accent. It was great advice, and it was like also Ed Asner had great advice too, talking about falling on your face. You can't be afraid. Sometimes you have to fall on your face when you do things. That's the only way you learn. That's what he said. I love that.
Everybody from Beyond the Lights, if you haven't seen it,
it's a good show.
Yeah, well, if you wasn't on to the Taija Network, you did not see it, because it's not out yet. Hopefully we'll sell it. If not, then it'll be on this channel next year. But everybody gave such amazing advice, from the legendary comedian Louis Anderson when he passed. He said that
sweet.
Everything that you need to accomplish the dreams that you want in life is already inside you. You just have to go within and figure it out, and then bring it out. It's not outside, it's inside. Ed Asner said, the one thing that he would do over again and tell somebody younger, he told me, don't be afraid, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because making mistakes is how you learn, And I was just like, oh my goodness. Everybody gave such good advice. I love that show, Beyond the Lights. Shout out to everybody that was there. Rest in peace, Louis Anderson and Ed Asner. So,
yeah. Yeah, that was, really great advice. Yeah, that's the thing. I've fallen on I can't tell you how many times I've fallen on my face. And then I learned my lesson. And I go, I will never do that again. Or, oh, wow, I learned something new here. So that's...
the hard part with me, well, it's not hard because I'm always giving and I'm always, it's like, what would Jesus do? But I'm always trying to be the good person and take the high road.
You have to be.
And most times, people will take kindness for weakness. And I don't understand because I'm not a punk and I could whip you. But the conviction inside of me, I'm like, that's not where I want to be no more. So I am always rising to a higher frequency because of the man that I want to be. And you have to decide every day, what kind of person do I want to be and how do I want to affect people in this world? Because you can be a-hole or you could just be like, man, I'm so glad I met that person. And so that's where I always try to be. But also when something bad happens, I'm looking at it like, you know what? First of all, I already know that this is not a life or death situation. This is not the end, number one. Number two, even if something bad happens, I just say, okay, thank you for allowing me to exercise this situation. And maybe, just maybe, instead of coming at somebody with fire and fury and just trying to destroy somebody,
not worth it.
Maybe, and sometimes it might be. You might feel good, but it's not worth it. You're right.
No.
But my thing is, maybe this is an opportunity to show somebody grace. Instead of showing somebody, especially in the street game, in the streets, you mess with somebody and you disrespect or do whatever, you could go at any moment. But instead of being so final and fatal and taking somebody's life off of this planet, is that thing really worth somebody leaving and transitioning forever? No. Is it worth your life in jail or in prison? So you have to make those decisions. But what if this is required for a little bit more grace?
And in all those scenarios, everybody always loses. Everybody loses in those scenarios. When you, and that's the reason why it's like I like that. I like the way you said the way you approach it, and that's the way I do. Trying to approach it with giving people grace and all that type of stuff, because some people do try to do that. Some people try to think, because I'm a super nice guy too. He's nice, I could try and take advantage of him and all that type of thing. But I never let emotion get to it.
Right.
But I also, I exit out of the scenario sometimes. If that, I swim away slowly. I always go, all right, well, this is the way this person's going to be about this. So I'm still going to be nice. I'm still going to be professional. I'm never going to ever, go off on anybody. That's just not in my way I am. I always like to conduct myself professionally, and that's the thing. I just swim away slowly. Yeah, and I go, all right.
The funny thing is, though, when it's happening, I actually see it, and I'm just like, I can see it getting ready to come down the road. It's like, oh, okay, I know. This person think that they actually are being sneaky. I see all these scenarios.
Oh yeah, you see it from a mile away a lot of times.
And then I'm just
really?
And it's almost like the car is coming towards you, and you're going to have an accident, but you try to steer out of it as much as you can. But it's like you don't want me to respond in this way, so just forget it. You know what I'm saying? It's not important.
It's never worth it. It's never worth responding with those emotions or negative emotions.
And so this is to all the people who did me wrong. I'm coming back at you. I'm coming for you.
I got his back.
Also, in a car or traffic situation, when you're responding to someone who's at the peak of being heated, you might have a bad response coming back, but if you can wait, it's like that thing where they say count to 10 and then you guys can talk about it. It's like there's a time to respond, and sometimes right away is not that time.
Yeah.
Right.
Just take a moment, Plus, you don't want to, as we're getting older too, I don't want to get out there and, because your mind is the last thing to go sometimes. And you think that you still got it and you can brawl like you did when you was 25, and you get out there and it just don't go your way. I'm not trying to be on nobody's sizzle reel, on the ground taking a nap. That's not.
I can see it. I can see it as you're getting older. You start getting the Alzheimer's. But Abraham Lincoln. I got you.
What?
Fighting with a lamppost.
Oh, okay. How did I know what you were saying?
Sorry, you were talking about getting older and stuff. So I was just making a joke. I was making a joke about getting older.
I'm talking about having all of your mentals there, but you think that you still got it. I seen two old guys.
Oh yeah.
I seen two guys have a little accident, a little fender bender, and these two guys were old. They were in this. They were, I can't say old, but they were in their 60s. Like they were old, and but they had a little pep in their step. And they wanted to brawl. And next thing you know, one guy was like, what? And he took out a stick. The other guy took out a knife. I was like, what are they doing?
Are you saying that you saw this in person?
I saw this in person.
Oh my goodness.
It was in on Las Vegas Boulevard. And it was right out front of right on the corner of Gas in Las Vegas, right in front of a dispensary. See, I was just smoking like, I don't believe this. Ooh, this is good. Oh, he took out a stick.
But that's the thing. And then the cops get involved, and then everybody loses in that scenario because everybody's either going to go to jail.
It was all that. Stupid.
It's going to be totally not worth it.
In my book, if you change your mind, you can change your life. We all are where we are simply from the decisions that we've made. So if you don't like where you are from your decisions financially, physically, emotionally, spiritually, relationships, or otherwise, if you begin to make the different changes and decisions and start thinking differently, you will begin to get different results. If you continue to keep doing the same thing, you're going to continue to keep having the same things that you've always had and the same type of responses. So at some point, you have to begin to go internally and figure these things out and change those things, how you respond, so that you can start getting different results. And I'm just like, okay, let's go and get some different results now. And that's where I'm at in life with everything.
That's the way to approach it.
Yeah, man. So Mike, I need you to help. This is like training with Rocky when he lost Mickey, and he went to Apollo Creed and he had to learn all over again. I need you to teach me some acting skills.
And then we're gonna run along the beach, and when you finally beat me, we're gonna jump in the air and dance together.
You know what? That would be a good clip. We need some content. Let's actually do that, make that happen. That would be funny.
I can see it, and John and Mike would be like, "John, I'm gonna teach you to eat lightning and crap thunder. Come on, we're gonna do it. Bring it on, John. Come on, John.
Let's make spoofs of all that. Let's do the Karate Kid. Mr. Miyagi and Daniel-san. You can have on a short belly T-shirt. With the bandana.
Oh man, I got the. Yeah, I got the belly to hang out too.
The past around, nobody's ever gonna.
Yeah, let's do all of that and see what happens. Just for fun, Life is too short to take it serious, man. This journey of life, man, is about
John,
connecting. Yes, sir.
Hit up Abby Ray. Mm-hmm. Get those acting classes going. It sounds like you got some good material to work with already. I'm talking about you as a being, a comedian.
I have a whole bunch of things that I want to do. I just need the camera crew to get it together. So we can do that and work that out. We can do some really, really good things.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And then we get some more money. Let's make some money. Then we'll get the Tijan University going. And you can be teaching classes at the university, and we can make more movies and have the money and have it, maybe make it a nonprofit and get some money and really make these things happen. Plug in the Tijan network, and we got distribution around the world, making our own films, creating the life that we really want. You know what I'm saying? It's power and unity, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I don't want people to think I'm like a kiss ass here. I think you're a guy with the right attitude and the fairness. Like I said, your head and heart are in the right place where I'm like, yeah, that's a guy I want to see succeed. You are a person I want to see succeed.
I appreciate it. Thank you. And I just want to see you and everybody else. It's not about me getting to the top. I want to be with people. I want us to win together and just live the life that we want to live. That's what it's all about. It's not about me. It's about we. That's what Tijan is all about. God whispered that name to me. And it's been with me since 98. And
oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah, as soon as I got out of film school. And so we're just going to move forward with it and continue to make it happen. One step at a time, one project at a time, and one issue at a time. We just need to find the money and partner with the right people to bring this thing into fruition and make it happen. So together we can go to heights that we wouldn't be able to go to on our own. So let's team up together and do it, man. And tell everybody else, man. Let's see if it works. Then if it didn't work, we come back and say, hey, they lied, it didn't work. But, we don't know until we try it. And we just have to believe in the possibilities that we can do it. I see it. I'm walking to make it happen. I just want to have people to partner with me that believe in it, and we can go and do it together and make great things happen, before our time is up here on this earth and we transition until wherever else we're going, man. This is an opportunity to be alive and to live this journey of life and to be able to bring things into existence from these lights and signs, and all this is just made in our imagination, from the movies that you've made that came out from your head to the paper into production, and actually it's out there now, man. We are all creative, and in our creative being, we are using our God likeness. That's the first thing that God tells us about himself in the Bible. I was listening to Myron Golden, and he teaches on King Solomon's Bible principles. Love him. Watch him all the time. And if you look in your Bible, no matter what Bible you have, if you open up one and you start reading Genesis, and it says, in the beginning, God what? He created the heavens and the earth.
The heavens and the earth.
So the first thing he tells us is that he is creative. It wasn't telling us that I am the Almighty, I am love, I am this, I am peace, I'm God of whatever. The first thing he tells us that he was creative. And if we're made in his image, we are also creative like we are. Some people may step out on it and do it, and others people's don't. But, everything we see around us is a creation from our mind and our imagination.
Always had a theory about that, because you know how sometimes we'll make movies and you're like, oh, should I put that in it? Is that crossing the line or whatever? But when I know we're getting into like a religious aspect now, but when God had man name all the animals, because man was made to be this creative being, so he named all the animals and the plants and everything. Men like to create. Men and women love to create
and co-create.
Make stuff. And yes, and so it's just when I think of some stuff, it's like, oh, would God approve of that? Would God approve that? I think he'd probably say, "I'm glad you created something." I mean, I'm not saying anything goes, but you know what I'm saying. Most stuff is created, and it has to be appreciated for the fact that it was created.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I think that
just the process of creating.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think that he would have an issue with it. I don't think that that's what he is involved with, because everything everything that's out there that's created, we're learning from it. We're catching the data, whether we think it's good or bad or evil. It's not even about being good or bad. It just is. And I don't think that anything that you can create will offend God. He's God. He already know what it is, and it's beneath him. So you're not going to change his outlook or things, or you're going to hell because she looked on a titty in a movie.
Mike, you made
whatever.
You made a crappy horror movie. You're going to hell.
Yeah, no.
As long as you're not
no, but I'm just
anybody or anything like that, you know.
But I'm just talking about the process of creating, whether it's a hard action movie or whatever. Just the when you're creating these images out of, like, the two images cut together make a third. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They give it a movement and a meaning, and just the whole process of creating is amazing to me. You know, like how images are put together to create a sequence, and how the sound is added to those images to maybe make them seem like they're somewhere else. You know, could be two guys just sitting in a still car, but then you put the sound of the and you blow a fan on them, and it looks like they're actually driving. You know what I mean? You're creating these illusions,
right?
That tell stories, and that to me is like an amazing thing.
That is an amazing thing. But when you think about it too, I mean, that's what the enemy uses. The devil doesn't really have any power. He just stimulates.
I got what you're saying. Yeah,
illusions.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we respond off of those illusions, whether it's good or bad or indifferent. So if you can think it, you can put it out there. It's
like that story of when the person comes up to the king and he says, "I want to see the most horrible, ugly thing you've ever seen," and this lady brings, like, what wasn't it, somebody's tongue? And he's like, "Why that?" They said, "Because it spoke ill of everything, and everything that came off of it was bad." And then he goes, "Okay, now I want to see the most beautiful thing." And they bring another tongue. And he says, "Wait, why a tongue again?" "Because this one spoke, everything was positive and angelic." And, you know, it was like, how was the tool used, you know? It's kind of what you say about words matter.
Right.
Did this tongue say the words that mattered, or was this the vile one? You know what I mean?
But you also, within that story, it's just like what I said earlier. It's no such thing as good or bad. There just is. And so you can look at it for what it is, without judgment and without emotions, and you can see this was beautiful and this was bad and evil, but it just is. It's how you apply it to yourself that makes the difference. Right. The tool is the tool. Right. So it's how you use it and how you see it. Oh, we're getting ready to wrap up. I think, I don't even know. He is like,
what? It's only been 3 hours.
Almost 2 hours 30 minutes.
2 hours 30. So this is the longest one. We beat Mike Baran.
No. I think he was still longer. I think
he was still longer. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so we gotta keep going then. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, we.
My mom's in bed.
And it was her birthday.
No. I'm just visiting. I'll see her tomorrow. We're good.
Okay.
No, she just liked me being here.
Yeah, that's the key. Actually, all mothers. My mother lives in Florida, and every day she's calling, "Baby, come on back home." I'm like, Mama, I'm not coming home. I can't live. Too old to live with my mama.
So yeah, she's just happy to see me here on the couch, and even if I'm talking to you guys, I'm still here, you know, in her place.
That's
like I said, it's a memory care unit. It's a little apartment, and you know, usually she's alone at this point, and I just want to be here with her.
Yeah, spend as much time with her, because we don't know how many more seasons you have with her, you know. And it's these times you live in Vegas, she lives there, you know, so it's just about, you know, just showing her so much love and just being there while you can before you have to go back home. Does your sister live there?
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Oh, okay. At least she's
about 10 minutes away. Yeah.
Okay. At least she has, your sister there. How often do you go down?
I came down, I think January was the last time, so not very often lately.
Okay.
But like you said, my sister is 10 minutes away, so she sees her, once or twice a week at least.
Can she still get out? Can she come outside and all of that stuff? Is she still mobile or no?
We have she can't by her. Yeah, she's very mobile. Mm-hmm. But we have a person that we hired to takes my mom on walks 5 days a week.
Okay.
Get her out of the building, and because when you're in memory care, you're kind of locked in, and we want her to be able to get out. Whether through that, so we have like a caregiver who takes her out.
Okay.
And it's actually a really nice place where she got. Like I said, most of the time when someone goes into memory care, it's like a room. It's like a small hospital room and a bathroom, and that's it. But she's got a living room and a nice sized bedroom and a little kitchenette area. So it's actually pretty nice.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
And they leave all their doors open, to the other apartments, so they all mingle, and there's a common area where they hang out, TV and
stuff. Oh, that's good. So, so they're not just
when it comes to memory care, this is the best I've seen as far as memory care places.
What's the name of the place?
Because it's called Cottonwood Village.
Cottonwood Village. Shout out to Cottonwood Village.
Yeah, because we've had my mom in a few places like Legacy and Scottsdale and then Flagstaff, and the memory care, like I said, they were just like bedrooms, like a single little bedroom, and it's like you feel too confined. At least here we could have her furniture and her pictures, and she's still in a little bit of her hominess.
Right. What's funny is in my mind, the last few years, I've been thinking I want to get up the money for this. I want to open up a house. If I could have maybe 2 ranch houses, maybe 4 bedrooms in each, side by side, and fence in both to have a big yard and, have a courtyard, and it would be for assistant living, where they can live on their own, they can still move, but you would have a cook that would cook for them all, make them, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then have events out there and have a big yard where you can do a movie night, or whether they want wine or something, and have a van, or if you want to take them to the mall or to the movies. But, everybody would pay their own share, but you'd have the living room and everybody can kind of mingle. You may have, 8 different people or however many rooms, and just create a very nice environment, and it's not something big. I don't need a big unit or whatever, but that's something that I thought about that I wanted to do as well.
There are places like that, maybe not as nice as what you're thinking, but there are places like that where it's more of like a communal assisted living. It's not in a building, it's at a house.
Right. And have
or
doctor,
maybe a pair of houses.
Right. Or have a nurse 24 hours there, and the cook. And these people can live their own lives and go in and out as, but if they have an issue, there's somebody there, and you just have a great time, great life. We'll bring in, in the back or something, we'll bring in a band to play for them one night, have a prom for them, have a night where they have a comedian, just these different things to really give them a great life. I want to do that. Anything that I want to do.
We got John Maurice performing this Sunday.
Yeah. Just anybody, and that's another way that we can promote local talent, local comedians, locals. You can just come in with an acoustic guitar and do something for them, and have like the string lights, the Tuscany. We may have pizza night, have taco night. Just because you get old doesn't mean that you're not needed anymore. You know what I'm saying? Or that you have to be shut away. I want to extend that. So I'm looking to really get to the next level in the next few years. So then I can start to incorporate all of these other things that's in my mind. So it's time. It's time. And we're going to get ready to wrap up, Mike. We're going to have to do a third episode with you because we just got so much more to talk about. Thank you so much for calling in and making this this podcast great, because we talked about a lot. I think that people would be able to enjoy it and grab something from it, from every aspect that we talked about, man. So this is what it's all about. We're just having the conversation, and we go. And I
think you hit on it with all the the positivity and the energy, and we were talking about attitude. I think it's a very important thing to touch on. So.
Right. Well, that's just me being me now.
Thank you.
There's no more. You're welcome.
Yeah.
There's no more representative. It's just me, and I'm just I just want to be the best version of myself. And just go to the next level, man. It's time. We get stuck in life.
Yeah, change your frequencies.
Right. But the key is we get stuck in life, and when we get to 10, we think, oh man, this feels good. It's almost like the analogy I can use when you are in elementary school. At every level, it's time to change. Elementary school to 5th grade, you graduate. When you at the 5th grade, you're the big kid on campus. But then you go to middle school to 6th grade, 6 to 8, you're the freshman again, and the 8th graders are the big kids on campus. And when you get there, you graduate and you go to high school and you're in 9th grade now. And you're a freshman again, and people are at the senior year, they're the big man on campus. You go to college, you're starting all over. Life is always in seasons of starting over, and some people get stuck at their senior year, and they don't move forward because they don't know what is beyond this, and they don't know what or where to go because they haven't taken inventory inside themselves to know where I want to go and make that decision. So they're stuck at 10, or they're stuck at their senior level. And you have to just understand there's room to grow. If you're at the top, it's time to now cut a hole in that ceiling or get out that building and go to a building that's higher so you can continue to keep growing. And that's where I am spiritually. That's where I am physically. I am growing financially, emotionally, and in every area of my life, even in, all of these things, podcast growing. I'm sorry, man. I know you're like, will you shut up? I'm ready to go.
I'm listening. I'm actually listening.
But that's where I'm at now. I just left the old building, and I'm in a bigger building. And even in the rooms that I'm in, the people that I am trying to now talk to and partner with, I want all of them to be, better, smarter, richer, all of these things, more educated than I am, so that I can begin to grow even more and learn more, because if you're the smartest person in the room, get out that room, because you're constantly being pulled on and you can't grow, and you'll never accomplish your dreams having everybody feed from you. And you need to get out and to move forward, and that's how you grow.
That's what my grandfather always said. You always have to, no education goes unlost, and you always be learning. Always. You're always learning, no matter what level you're at. If you're always learning something, then you're getting better. That's the biggest thing, And that's how you do it. Also, like you said, getting with other people that do, have more knowledge about, than you with certain things and all that type of stuff.
Right. It's about partnership. No more about, I did this on my own and, I did it my way. Yeah, you did it. But you know what? Let's get there faster. Let's partner together, and let's let go of the ego.
Oh yeah.
That I'm this. I'm John Maurice. Sit down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm John Maurice. How you doing? I'm just John. Let's get this vision out. Let's get to the next level.
Let go of my ego.
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. I like that. Lego my ego.
My
I like
ego.
That.
Yeah.
Ego.
Lego my ego.
Yeah, so that's what it's all about. We're going to the next level. We're wrapping up. We definitely have to have you again. It's my birthday on Wednesday, so I'm out of the state. But when I come back, we're gonna
Happy birthday.
Thank you. We're gonna
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Matt. And if you want to send me a birthday gift, you can send $1 at. No, I'm just playing.
His P.O. box is.
Yeah, right. We'll get together when I get back, and let's start talking about some of these things. We talked about it the last time. We talked about it this time. Now let's go and try to make these things happen. We can sell the stuff at the the American film market. And let's look towards making some things happen in 2025, man. Let's get together. And even if you can't do it, maybe you can help guide and direct me and say, okay, let's do this, because I'm ready. I'm pregnant and I'm ready to start pushing. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna
you're gonna have a litter. You're gonna have a whole litter.
Hey, whatever comes, I'm happy with it. But I got to get it out so that I can continue to move forward and grow. That's what it's about. We want this university to happen. I don't know when, but it's already there. So I say yes to it. I want to do these movies, at least get one out already. And we're going to continue to keep moving forward. Let's, building valuable relationships, with people like yourself and starting to get known. I'm tired of dealing with Pookie and Fuquam and just people who don't. And sorry to the people who have those names who are doing good things. We're not talking about you, But I need to get to the corporate level. I need to start talking to these business-minded people and the people who know how to find the dollars to get the projects going, and the creative minds who know how to put good productions together. So that's where I need to go. So I'm getting out of the one room. I've moved out of the building and I'm moving into another building. So that's where we're at. We're going to make this happen. Thank you, everybody. This is Mr. Mike Conway, the great film producer, maker, director, music, composition, for soundtracks. If you need them, we're going to put all of the information up there again. You were actually the last podcast that we just had up, so you're going to be back to back. And, good people matter. And we want to have you on the show and always push and promote everything that you're doing. I appreciate you for doing the show. And I'm also proud and so grateful to be able to call you a friend. And we're going to continue to move forward and be friend-like outside and off of the cameras as well. So thank you.
Awesome.
Excelente.
Excelente.
I got that.
I'll see you later, Mike. You're
all right,
awesome.
Mike. Thank you. Take care.
All right. Hasta la vista, baby.
All right. Later. Everybody, Mr. Mike Conway. Well, this was another episode of Words Matter with John Maurice. I'm your host, John Maurice, and my co-host and engineer, Mr. Matt, Senegaze Productions. Anything you want to say?
No, everything was great. Such a great episode, and it was a lot of fun. It was actually fun, for people to kind of see behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I'm always very quiet, and I'm always behind the engineering.
Yeah.
And before we get off, Mike, stay on, because we got to do one more thing before we're wrapped up for the day. You still there, Mike?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right, cool.
All right, that's what's up. Well, everybody, thank you again for tuning in. If you like, please subscribe. Please tell people about it. If you got anything from it, pass it on and send it to another person. We are a new station, and this is a new show, and we're really trying to get viewers, and we're trying to just be known and get out there. So we want to partner with you. If you can help us get us out there and tell people about us, man, we will highlight anything that you have going on. Please add comments if you liked it, talk about some things, and let's get this movement going. I'm trying to find my people. I know I'm not for everybody, but if you mess with me, I'll rock with you all day long, and we'll make some things happen and live the life we're supposed to.
And remember, like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Come work with your boy, please. I love you, and I'm always trying and thinking about the best things that I can bring to you. Check out my website. It's iamjohnmaurice.com. I have a new blog. It comes out every Sunday. The new one just came out today, The Power in Me. So I'm writing things and always focus on things that you can do to make your life better and to actually help you to manifest your dreams. We have the podcast always on the website the day after it airs on Wednesdays here on this channel. I am John Maurice, and we're looking to do other things, and let's partner with us. If you have a podcast, or if you know somebody who has a podcast, I'd love to be on your show, and you can be on mine, and we can just share and just continue to grow along this journey together. All right. Again, I'm John Maurice. You've been watching Words Matter with John Maurice, and I'll see you next time. Love always of John Maurice. Peace. Words Matter with John Maurice. Mm-hmm.